What's going on, guys? Thanks for watching. Keep calm and game on. We are back. A lot has happened. Man. We bombed the facilities in Iran. Three of them. Took them out. Now there's sirens sounding in Tel Aviv for incoming missiles from Iran. So we're gonna watch that. Let me grab my headset real quick. This is happening live. So this is currently happening live. Let's skip ahead a little bit. There's some sirens going off. If you are watching, drop some comments, guys.
Put our two vantage points over the skies of Tel Aviv.
I went to Sonic to get some dinner. That's why I popped out for a bit. Got me a strawberry shake.
Missile or drone barrage at sites across Israeli territory. And take a look at this. You see there in the upper right.
Pretty much gone.
That was Jerusalem. That was
what a shame. It's pretty much gone.
Of course, below that is Tel Aviv here. So I was mistaken there. We were only looking at the blue sky, so I was not entirely sure whether or not this shot was Jerusalem or Tel Aviv. Of course, you know it's Jerusalem. You see there the Temple Mount, the Western Wall, the Al-Aqsa Mosque there in the distance. And you saw some of the strains in the early morning blue Sunday
If you're popping in, guys, welcome to the stream.
As so many Israelis waking up to the sound of alarms and sirens of yet more threats.
Oh, buddy, boys. Oh, buddy. Man, this is interesting. It's gonna be a bumpy ride, boys. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
So we have this shot there over Jerusalem. We still have this shot there over Tel Aviv in Israel. Let's listen to this. So in the meantime, we're gonna keep monitoring.
So we're gonna pause that. We're gonna go to here.
So
this is Agenda Free TV. Tune in and see what he's looking at. It is almost 8 a.m. Israel time.
I follow says at least 5 missile fall scenes. Oh, I'm seeing a report of a Haifa. Okay, so I am seeing a video. Well, it may be Haifa. I'm not sure. The thing is, the Haifa cam is not pointing at Haifa is not pointing at the city right now because, again, Reuters says that the government has told them they don't want it to be revealed where these missiles are landing. So the Haifa cam is just pointed in the sky. The Tel Aviv, all 3 of my cameras now are just pointed at the sky. That's where they're all pointed because that's what the government has told Reuters. Actually, one of them isn't even a Reuters. One of them's AFP, but it's still pointed at the sky. So
if you are watching, though, what do you think about all this?
Oh, there's a new camera. What camera is that? Oh, no. Okay. Haifa's back now. Haifa's back. So what are we seeing on the Haifa camera? Anything? I don't really see anything on the Haifa camera at the moment.
So there's reports that several Iranian missiles were launched at Israel. There were some sirens going off for a bit.
And see what the reporting is.
We're just tuning in.
Oh, that says
If you have no idea what's going on right now, guys, the U.S. went in with some bombers to Iran. There was also a submarine that launched, I think, I want to say 40 Tomahawk missiles. And yeah, combined with the bombers and the missiles, we took out 3 nuclear facilities.
3 in the Haifa area, 2 in the Shephelah area.
Trump came out. He gave a
12 News.
He kind of gave a rundown of what was going on. That was only like 3 minutes. He addressed the nation, and they're supposed to be talking more tomorrow morning about everything, having a press conference about
Shephelah is
but man, crazy things, crazy times.
South Central Israel.
Ruben, how you doing, man? Ruben Baz, welcome to the stream, man. How you doing?
I don't see
first one to leave a comment. Welcome.
I mean, it is cloudy there on the Haifa cam, so. You know,
How's your night going, man?
If there are fires or
Oh
whatever.
man, I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna sneeze,
We'll
guys.
see
Look out,
that
look out. I'm gonna
eventually.
sneeze.
Well,
I'm gonna sneeze. Hold up.
There will
Hold
be
up.
reporting on it and stuff, and I'll post stuff in the chat. But
Whoa.
just waiting to hear right
Whoa.
now.
Okay, we're back.
what happened.
Sorry about that, guys. If you're wearing headphones, I apologize. Man, I hate allergies. But Ruben, how you doing, Ruben?
GLZ Radio says reports of a fall in Haifa. So, one in
So let's tune back into let's go to ABC News. Let's see if they're still reporting anything.
That it could be just a few weeks before Iran had that full capability.
Oh, I guess their stream ended. Okay, their stream ended. All right, let's go to Fox News is just having videos pop out. Let's do Newsmax.
Services in this capacity. I hope that's so.
This was Trump earlier today, about a couple hours ago, addressing the nation. I think they probably just got some commercials going on. What is all this? What the heck am I watching right now? Newsmax, what are you doing, Newsmax? Are you actually streaming? No, it's okay. So Newsmax ain't doing anything. Okay, what about CBS News?
Talk peace. And
3 key Iranian sites called the strikes successful in an address.
Up. Okay, they ain't doing nothing either. All right, maybe we just go to live news. Wait, let me refresh this page. Unless they restarted their stream, maybe? Unless they went offline. It says there's 33,000 people watching this live. Well, where is the the live images? Oh, they'll be right back. Okay, so they're on commercial break. So we're going to tune back into Agenda Free TV.
Haifa and then a couple others.
Go to the live feed here.
How many missiles have hit?
He's kind of monitoring
What
the cameras that are in Israel right now.
damage is.
There was a siren going off,
Okay, N12 News posted a photo.
but I think it stopped.
Right now. I just posted N12 News' photo for you in the chat. They say that.
But yeah, guys, welcome to the stream.
More than now.
What do you
they
think about
say
this
more
whole thing
than
that's
10
happening? Do you think
crashes. That's a
Trump
huge
did the right
number.
thing,
If there were really
sending
10
in the
missiles
bombers,
that-
taking out the facilities, or do you
especially given
think
that
he
there were
basically
really
opened
20 to
Pandora's
30
box
missiles
and now
fired?
we're all screwed? What do you think?
So let's
Let
see
me know.
if that actually ends up being the case. That would be a huge number.
Let me know.
I am seeing another report that there was no alarm.
Thank
in the
you
city of
for
Haifa.
the thumbs up, by the way, whoever that was.
Political and Security Cabinet Telegram account, it's Israeli reporters, say there was no alarm in the city of Haifa. A missile hit is being reported there, an incident that will require investigation. Multiple accounts I follow saying there was no report in Haifa, no alarm, and a missile hit there.
All right, guys, I put a poll in the chat. Did Trump just open Pandora's box? Yes or no? You can vote in the
Again,
chat what you
supposedly,
think.
This is the Haifa video. I just posted in the chat. I
And
can't
Ruben, how you doing, bro?
guarantee
How you
that's
doing,
really
Ruben?
from Haifa.
If you're watching, drop a comment. I'm going to read as many as I can. And consider hitting that like button as well.
We could end up seeing some building.
Got some
This is
sirens.
what happens when these missile attacks happen.
Sirens going on. Let's see. Fox News. What's happening on Fox News? Let's see if there's any new videos. Any new videos posted. Let's see here. This was posted 44 minutes ago. New details reveal on 6 bunkers. Okay, Leo, let's watch this one.
Meantime, let's get back to this country and the Washington. The chief national security correspondent Jennifer Griffin is live for us at the Pentagon.
Let's see what they got to say here.
I think what's so extraordinary about tonight's strikes, not only all eyes
Eamon,
were
how
on
you doing, man?
Fordo, and for the past week we've been talking about the B-2 bombers and the massive ordnance penetrators. Those are the 30,000-pound GBU-57 bunker buster bombs. What we can report tonight after Sean Hannity spoke to the president, we learned that there were 6 massive ordnance penetrators dropped on Fordo, and as the
6 of
president
them.
wrote on Truth Social, that Fordo
Da-dang.
site is gone. My sources
I think there
tell
were
me
all
that
there were
those,
also
those bunker
Jericho
buster
missiles
bombs would have been dropped
launched
through the
from
air
a submarine.
ventilation
I think there were 40 Jericho
ventilation
missiles.
shafts at Fordo, so most likely 3 bunker busters through each of those shafts. We had been focusing on the entrances. There are 2 entrances to the Fordo site, which is 300 feet underground. We've also reported that the MOP bomb can penetrate about 200 feet underground, but they work in pairs. The B-2 bomber, which flew out of Whiteman Air Force Base, they fly nonstop and are refueled along the way to this site at Fordo. They drop one MOP bomb, a 30,000-pound bomb that goes about 200 feet down. There's soil that is then removed, exposed, and then the second bomb, which drops into a hole that is has a radius of about 25 feet. It goes into the same hole and can go even deeper. So Fordow, we understand, is gone. That is significant because that was the main
that was the main
nuclear
one they were
enrichment
trying to
site,
get, and they took
it
out
was
2
deeply
other
fortified in that
2 other
mountain.
sites as well.
Then there are the 2 other sites. You have Natanz, which had 3 underground enrichment facilities. Those 3,
A lot of the big cities around the U.S. are kind of on high alert right now, just kind of prepping in case there's any counterattack by Iran. There haven't been any credible threats yet, but they're just kind of on heightened alert. Gavin Newsom said that for California. The mayor of New York said that as well. Just, just to be on the safe side, because chances are they will try to retaliate. So everybody's just kind of walking on eggshells at the moment.
Because all the focus was on the B-2s and the MOP bombs.
And Trump has said, if you do retaliate and try to try to hit any U.S. bases or whatnot, we're going to hit you back like 10 times harder than we hit you tonight. So we'll see what happens.
We will have to wait and see the bomb damage assessment at that site to see how whether it was completely destroyed. I'm told from very, very knowledgeable sources that that was most likely the hardest site. So we'll have to see.
I know we're still getting new information coming in here, Jennifer, but just for kind of clarification here, we have been told, or we've been kind of reporting that the B-2s went in and they went into Fordo and may have dropped as many as 6 of the bunker busters.
Possibly 6 bunker busters.
Tomahawks fired at Natanz.
Let me put the chat down there
do we know
real quick.
If we ruled out the possibility of any bunker busters being used on Isfahan and on Natanz?
I'm told that the bunker busters were used at Fordo and that it was the Tomahawks that targeted Natanz and Isfahan. So at this point in time,
if you're just tuning in, guys,
3
welcome.
B-2 bombers there above Fordo.
We're watching his stream right now, ladies and gents. This is nuts.
This morning, all eyes were on the reports and the sightings, the radar
This is some
trackers
crazy
of
stuff
the,
going down, boys.
The flight trackers who saw that there were those 6 B-2 bombers flying towards Guam. And now if you were to fly from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri all the way to Iran, let's say, that's a 30-hour straight flight. So those bombers could not possibly have been involved in this strike. That's when we look at what would have been flying east. Clearly, some B-2 bombers from Whiteman flew east.
Also, real quick, guys, I posted in the chat, did Trump just open Pandora's box? Yes or no? 6 votes so far. 50% say yes, and actually 57% say yes, and oh man, it's going back and forth. It's going back and forth. 57 and 38, 60. Yeah, it's a lot of people voting in the chat, but most people so far say yes. Trump just opened Pandora's box.
East. And that's why we saw this week about 30 air refuelers that were positioned in Europe.
That is a very big jet, 69 foot long, 17 feet high, 172 foot wingspan.
It's a 15-hour flight.
And that thing weighs 160
to Fordo. And so those bombers would have flown
1,000 pounds,
and they would have been refueled along the way, and they would be on their way back home to Whiteman as we speak. Trace.
Jennifer Griffin, we'll get back to you. Jennifer, thank you.
Hey, it's Will Kane.
Hey, Will Kane. How you doing, Will Kane? We don't give a crap. Okay, let's go back to his stream here. He's watching the skies over Israel. There were some some alarms going off for a while, some sirens going off because Iran was launching more missiles. So we're kind of keeping an eye on there. We also have live from Fox up. Let me hit the live feed here.
And perhaps the most lethal.
This is what happened, I want to say 4 hours ago. Trump came out, kind of addressed the nation.
But if peace does not come quickly, we will go after those other targets with precision, speed, and skill.
Excuse me.
Them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And
8 a.m. at the Pentagon.
In particular,
also, guys, do me a favor, smash that like button. Can we get 40 likes? Let's get this live stream to the top.
Great military, protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless.
That was like the shortest, kind of the shortest address Trump's ever given. I think it was only like a couple minutes. Short and sweet.
I played in full the very latest from U.S. President.
Cool Ed says impeachment of Trumpstein now. Cool Ed thinks Trump should get impeached. I know AOC, I guess, is calling for impeachment, but AOC is pretty much calling for impeachment every other day, right? Cool Ed, welcome to the stream, man.
We have experts joining us throughout these early morning hours. What questions do you have about the U.S. striking Iran? Let us know what those questions are.
Yeah, I was at work, and then I opened up my Twitter app, and I saw that Trump posted that we hit the 3 facilities. And at first, I thought it was just AI. I thought it was just fake, you know, just like photoshopped. But then, like, I started looking at all the other news networks, and they slowly started saying, like, they started posting the same image, and I was like, oh crap, we did it. We did it, boys. And yeah. So, has Iran like said anything? Have they like put out a statement yet, or
all you have to do is scan
I haven't heard anything about it. I've heard some of the like news networks in Iran have said like they're going to retaliate, but I don't know if we've gotten word from the leader himself.
We do want to bring into the conversation none other than Ken Gray. He's a terrorism and homeland security expert.
But if you are watching, guys, drop some comments. Let me know what you think. Also, vote on the poll. 15 votes so far. 67% say Trump has just opened Pandora's box, and 33% say no, he hasn't.
Good morning, Janae. Glad to be with you.
Oh, God.
So, Ken, first, I would love for you to provide some perspective. How did we get to this point?
Okay, let's pop back over to, let's see here. Let's go to home. Let's look at news that popped up. Breaking news 2 hours ago. Let's go to news. Siren sound off in Tel Aviv. Bernie Sanders finds out Trump launched strikes on Iran. This was 3 hours ago. Anderson Cooper from CNN.
I want to put the statement by President Trump up on the screen. He says in a Truth Social post, "We have completed our very successful attack on the 3 nuclear sites in Iran, including Fordo, Natanz, and Esfahan. All planes are now outside of Iran airspace."
Iran is more likely to going to bomb our military posts, but then, well, I think, Charlie, they're currently saying they're going to retaliate, and the Houthis are going to strike boats from what they said before.
Now is the time for peace. Thank you for your attention to this.
Hillary Clinton is effing. That's being. Wait, you can't beat on that. Wait, what?
This is something that we have been waiting for and watching for.
I mean, I'm sure the U.S. is kind of prepped. We got like what 3 aircraft carriers over there at the moment.
There's been some reporting they're heading toward Guam. We don't know exactly.
So I think they are. They're pretty ready for if Iran does something. I think people are mostly worried about what's going to happen here in the U.S. Like if there's any like sleeper cells, sleeper agents, you know, lone wolf attacks that are going to happen in retaliation. All it takes is like one crazy person with like, you know, some kind of weapon to do some damage, unfortunately. And I think people are kind of worried about that. I think Gavin Newsom came out and said that police force there is kind of on high alert, just kind of monitoring the situation. There haven't been any credible threats yet, but you know, everybody's just kind of on high alert. Same with New York. They put law enforcement in certain areas outside of like religious places and whatnot, just in case something happens. So I think people are kind of more worried about what could happen here than what's going to happen over there. Because you know, like I said, they have like 3 aircraft carriers, they got submarines, they got the whole place is pretty much surrounded. So it's just kind of here with the lone wolves that could possibly cause trouble that people are kind of nervous about. I think I could be wrong though. Jay Bird says, I don't understand all the reasons why it was done, but trust my president. He's a lot smarter than I am when it comes to the world and its problems. Yeah, I mean, it's easy for us to say like, oh, he did the wrong thing, but we don't have the intel he has. You know, he's got the Pentagon, he's got the Situation Room, he's got generals and satellites and all this information. Like, if he thought they were very close to getting nuclear weapons, it makes sense why he did this. A lot of people are like, well, they've been saying they've been close to having nuclear weapons for 40 years, and you know, but it's hard to say. I think it's safe to assume like they are pretty far off from having nukes now, though Iran has said like the facilities that were hit, all the stuff that was in them was emptied a couple months ago, and they didn't actually damage anything. Well, they damaged it, but it's not fully damaged, and they can repair it or rebuild. That's what they're saying, but obviously they're not going to be like, yeah, the U.S. just bombed the F out of us, and now we're screwed. Obviously, Iran's not going to say that, right? Trump addresses nation. We watched that one. That was 2 hours ago. Let's see here. Let's go to live news from Fox. There's 31,000 people watching this stream.
Where Iran was enriching nuclear material,
and there were just some sirens going off over Tel Aviv. So I guess Iran's shooting more missiles toward Israel. I don't understand. I read that comment. Hoyt S says, "Thank you, President Trump." How you doing, Hoyt S? The Quiet Kid. How to become a mod? By not asking to become a mod. If you're just popping in, guys, welcome to the stream. Some crazy stuff has happened. The U.S. went into Iran and bombed 3 of the nuclear facilities. From what I've heard, we dropped like 6 bombs, and then a submarine launched like 40 Tomahawk missiles. That's what I'm hearing. That happened like 3 hours ago. Trump came out, addressed the nation, said we basically had to do it and that they shouldn't retaliate. And if they do retaliate, we're going to hit them harder than we just hit them. I don't know if Iran has come out with a statement yet. So we're just kind of bouncing around to different news articles, news videos that have come out, watching some different live feeds, and just reading your guys' comments. So if you got anything to add to the conversation, drop it in the comment section. A lot of new faces here tonight. Shout out to all the new subscribers, by the way. We've gained like 300 subscribers in the past day. So appreciate that, guys. Charlie says they moved the nuclear materials before the bombing. This didn't accomplish. That's what they're saying, but is that true, though?
Wow.
And if that's the case, where do they move it to, you know? And do they have facilities in place that can do anything with that material?
From reliable accounts, and I've seen a couple videos of these, you know, maybe
an act of war has to be approved by Congress.
So heavily damaged. Yeah, that was a pretty, just one that was quite.
If I had a day and a half, it'd be underground.
If I get anything I can show you, I'll throw links to it in the chat.
Well, those facilities were underground. That's why they needed the bunker busters, right?
Again, Home Front Command is saying the wave of missiles is over.
My thing is, back in 2024, Iran shot 200 missiles at Israel, and they didn't kill anyone, but one person fell, and the arm is strong. So didn't quite get that whole thing. Iran screams about defense while sending weapons to militias that blow up school buses. That's not defense. It's murder by proxy.
I mean, recently there's been
Edwin Lopez says, I think it's true. I think it's true. So explain, what did Chinese planes were there before the bombing? Were there Chinese planes there before the bombing? I have no idea. They're supposed to have a press conference tomorrow morning, and Pete Hegseth is supposed to give like some more info on what happened. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of reporters there asking a lot of questions. That's happening tomorrow morning. I don't know if we're going to really hear anything else from the White House, like video-wise. Trump might post some stuff.
At least 27 missiles were launched, 22 and then 5. IDF said that according to Manny.
Senate and the House floor was notified. Yeah, I did hear that they were notified.
Hang on a moment here.
And that because of the situation, they couldn't wait for a vote or something like that.
I'm just posting these things in the chat.
I'm sure a lot more info is going to come out within the next few days, obviously.
Again,
this only happened like 3 hours ago.
Videos in the chat that
David Robinson says only the Republicans were consulted about the attack, none of the Democrats. I also heard that, yeah. They chant death to America every Friday, but when the U.S. responds, they cry for the UN weakness exposed. Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people don't think Iran having nuclear weapons is a good idea. Like, that's pretty much a no-brainer. But when we're like, well, how do we keep them from getting nuclear weapons? Everyone's like, well, we don't know, you know, blah blah blah. It's like they can't have nukes. Well, how do we do that? Oh well, and then Trump actually does something, and it's like, whoa, Trump's trying to cause a war. He said he didn't want to start new wars. Blah blah blah. Well, if Iran gets a nuke, that could cause some issues, couldn't it? I'm not saying it was the right move or the wrong move. I guess we're going to find out within the following days, weeks, months, years, if it was the right call. But I feel like regardless, it probably set their plans back a long time, right? If they don't have their main facilities, I'm sure they could spin up new ones eventually, but this is going to set them back a ways, right?
People are saying they can see them.
Trump has 30 days until this goes to Congress for approval, if not sooner.
So
Iran only plays defense when they're losing. Otherwise, they're playing offense with the blood of innocents. I think even Mike Pence, Trump's last VP, came out and said that he thinks Trump did the right thing. And Mike Pence and Trump have had some, let's say, a rocky relationship.
Everything I'm posting in the chat.
Katie One says they already had enough nuclear material for a lot of dirty bombs. Yeah, they could have been close to creating dirty bombs. A lot of people in the chat pop in, and they say, well, you know, Israel's been saying that Iran's had been close to having nukes for the past 40 years, and they don't have nukes. You know, that maybe that's true. But, I mean, we don't got the intel the Pentagon has. And obviously they could lie about it, but I feel like why would Trump risk going in there and like starting a war over something that wasn't probably pretty accurate? You know, it just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense why he would do that. Especially when he ran on not starting new wars. I just don't see how that could be a positive thing if he didn't have intel that said they are very close. I feel like he would have just ignored it. You know, he's focused on keeping the borders secure. He's focused on deporting illegal immigrants. He's focused on the economy and tariffs and rebuilding, you know, America from what he thinks Biden did to it. So I don't think he would add a war in the Middle East to that. And then there's the Russia-Ukraine thing. Like, he's got a lot on his plate. Why would he go out of his way to do this if he didn't think there was credible intel? It doesn't make sense to me. It just seems like he wouldn't bother with it unless he thought it was necessary, you know? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm not an expert. That's just how I see it. You threaten the world with annihilation, you don't get negotiations. You get craters where your bunkers used to be. Vicious Bird says, let's see here. Charlie says, if I see this right, broadly looking at every move and the ham-fisted approach Trump constantly uses, they want Israel to become the stabilizing force in the region, hence the push to drain Iran. Wizard says, bro streams every night. I'm about to sleep. What's good? How you doing, Wizard? Yeah, I streamed earlier today, too. Like, literally half an hour after this happened, I hopped on stream right when I got home from work. I just had to pop out for a bit because I had to grab some dinner, grab some Sonic, got me a shake and some cheeseburgers. But I'm back now. When the Ayatollah threatened nuclear war, Israel and the U.S. don't talk. They pull the trigger of peace through power. How you doing, Charlie? So we're watching this this guy. His name is Agenda Free TV. He's kind of looking at different cameras they got going over Israel.
Manny Fabian posted it. I'm posting it right.
He's kind of looking at Twitter too, seeing if there's any new breaking news happening.
From emergency medical response. And
if anything, though, like it sends a pretty clear message to leaders around the world that Trump's not afraid to pull the trigger. Like you F with America, you gonna get F'd with, right? Like he told him, he gave him 60 days. He's like, come to the table. Let's talk about your nuclear program. We don't want you to have nukes. You need to wind it down. You got 60 days. They didn't come to the table. On day 61, Israel went in, started, hitting them with everything they had. And then Trump gave it like another 7 days. And he's like, well, I'm going to think about it. Maybe in a couple weeks. And then 2 days into that, he's like, nope. I think once he found out that they weren't going to give up their nuclear program, he was like, okay, well, if they're not going to give it up, we're gonna just take that option away from them. We're just going to make the decision for them, basically. And that's what he did. I think he weighed all his options, and I think in his mind, he felt that, they're probably going to retaliate, right? But they're already in a weakened state because everything Israel's done. We can probably handle a weaker Iran, but what we can't handle is an Iran with a nuke. That just is like, I think the Iran with the nuke kind of beat out the possible retaliation if we do this. That's the way I see it. I also think Trump realized that he probably wasn't going to have a better chance than right now. I mean, when has Israel ever had air superiority over Iran? It's probably not recently, right? So this is probably the first time where they've been in the best position to fully take out the nuclear program. So Trump was probably thinking, do we let this pass by? Do we just, let this opportunity go and hope that they come to the table? Or do we just go in there, do what we have to do, and, figure out what happens with the consequences? It's a complicated situation for sure. I posted in the chat, guys, did Trump just open Pandora's box? You guys can vote on that. 71 people have voted so far. 51 of you say yes, he did, and 49% say no, he didn't. So it's kind of split half and half. I mean, this could be the first domino in a very big chain reaction, unfortunately. But I mean, when you tell Iran that you're not going to have nukes, and they're like, well, we're gonna, and Trump's like, no, you're not, and they're like, yeah, we are. I mean, what do you do? Especially when they've basically said that they wouldn't care if America was wiped off the map, or like death to America, or Israel's the little devil, the U.S. is the big devil, or they also fund terrorism. It's like, what do? Do you want the country that funds a lot of terrorism to have a nuke? Probably not. Probably not a good idea. You don't threaten genocide, build nukes in secret, and expect free world to sit on its hands. Wizard said Russia is busy. Israel has always had air superiority. JP says Iran's nuclear program was their pride. Now it's a pile of molten scrap, thanks to the combined fury of righteous nations. David says all he did was speak on how well we did in an unexpected strike. Douglas Goins says MAGA. How you doing, Douglas? How you doing? If you guys got any comments, post them in the comment section. I'm going to try to read as many as I can. James says, never seen a president waver like this orange top does. What do you mean waver, man? Didn't he say he was going to do what he was going to do? Like, how is that wavering? He said if they don't give up the nukes, we're going to basically take them. And then he went in and did it. How is that wavering? I don't get it. How you doing, Captain? Also, guys, do me a favor. If you're enjoying the stream and you want to see more of my content show up in your newsfeed, consider hitting that subscribe button down there. Also, smash that like button. Every time you hit the like button, we go a little bit higher up in the YouTube algorithm. Can we get 200 likes on this video? Post some comments down below. Give us your feedback. and let us know what you think about this whole crazy situation that's went down. Gavin Newsom has also said, he's in charge of California. He said that he's kind of put law enforcement on high alert because of potential, kickback from Iran. New York has said similar things. A lot of the large cities around the U.S. are kind of on high alert right now, just in case something goes down. And Trump also posted on Truth Social that if Iran targets any military bases of the U.S., they're going to basically regret it. And we're going to hit them harder than we hit them already, which was pretty hard. So, yeah, things are kind of tense, to say the least. James says Biden has more balls than Trump. You think Biden would have handled this situation better, James? I don't know. I feel like Biden would be sleeping right now. Jack says, as a Christian, I don't condone the killing of any human, but a country saying death to America and Israel and it's trigger happy with missiles shouldn't have nukes. Yeah, I agree. I feel like, though I asked the question last night, I was like, do you think Iran should have nukes? And 30% of the people that voted, I think there was like 400 people that voted, 30% said they thought Iran should have nukes. 30%. That's pretty crazy. Like, why would anybody think Iran having nukes would be a good idea? So, you think something sounds crazy and pretty straightforward and pretty like, this is a no-brainer. But apparently some people think Iran should have nukes. And that's crazy to say, but, So let's actually ask that question again, all right? So I'm going to end this poll. So I asked, did Trump open Pandora's box? You guys can vote on. I'm going to end this poll. And then I'm going to ask another question. All right. Do you think Iran should, if I could type, should have nukes? Okay. You guys can vote on that. I asked, do you think Iran should have nukes? Feel free to vote on it in the chat. Let's see here. Love says, so when y'all men signing up? I don't think we're gonna put troops on the ground. I mean, obviously things could change, but why would we put troops on the ground when we could just go in there with jets and rockets, and when Israel's right there? It doesn't make sense. Were the bunkers empty? Travis, Iran is saying the bunkers were empty. But obviously, what are they going to say? They're going to be like, oh yeah, you took it all out. Hey, we got a new subscriber. Thank you, Todd Kajor. Thank you, Todd, for subscribing, man. Appreciate it. China and Russia will get involved. Delusional magi's. I don't know if China and Russia get involved. I feel like Russia's got enough problems with Ukraine, with what they're doing to Ukraine. I don't think they want to get involved in another thing. I think China's just hoping that Trump backs up when it comes to the tariffs and crap and just leaves them alone. So I don't think they want to poke the bear more than they've already poked the bear, especially now that they know Trump means business. Pure22 says, Iran killed 3 U.S. troops. That's what set this off. Thank you, Asi Macha. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but thank you, man, for subscribing. Appreciate it. Travis C says, wondering where is evidence of bunkers? Joey, thank you for subscribing, man. And like I'm saying, guys, it's easy to kind of be like, oh, Trump's a moron. Trump shouldn't have done this. Trump is going to start a war. But what if somebody had the intel and they put it on his desk and it's like they are this close to having a nuke or creating some type of dirty bomb? They're this close. Do we just sit by and do nothing and then let them get that? And then once they get that, we're basically like, well, now they have it. If we go in there and try to do it now, they could shoot one of these things toward one of our allies or whatever. Do we wait for that? Do we kick the can down the road and let the next president deal with it? Or do we go in there, do what needs to be done, and take it out while we have like the best opportunity we've had in a long time? I think that's what Trump did. Now we got to see what the consequences are going to be, because obviously Iran's going to retaliate. If they don't retaliate, it's going to make them look weaker than they already are. And I feel like their government does not want to look weak right now because they already look very weak. And they have to worry about their own people turning on them now. So it's like they're probably going to have to retaliate. It's sad to say, but they're probably going to have to do it. Thank you, Josie Gomez. Or is that Jose Gomez? Thank you, Gomez, for subscribing, bro. Appreciate it. James Billette says, Trump is for Trump, a true narcissist. I feel like if Trump didn't get involved in this, I mean, if anything, like if this goes sideways, it's going to really tarnish Trump's legacy, right? Whereas if he just stayed out of it and worked on the U.S. and strengthening the economy, keeping the borders shut, all that, you know, his approval rating would probably keep going up. To get involved with this, if it goes sideways or if we get kind of pulled into it more than we already have, when he ran on not getting us into more wars, that could really tarnish his legacy and really hit his ego, right? So why would he do that? So I don't think that's Trump trying to like be like, oh, I'm the best. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know what's in Trump's head. Kevin says it would be suicide if Iran retaliated. Yeah, like especially when they know like Trump's not afraid to drop bombs. Like you F with America when Trump's president, yo, tread softly but carry a big stick. Well, Trump ain't afraid to use the big stick. What legacy? It's whatever strokes his ego. Hi there says, trust me, the Islamic regime already has plans to destroy the U.S. Did anyone forget 9/11? Campar says, not for war, but America first means staying on top of the world, even if that sounds harsh. Yeah, I mean, what were we going to do? Like, was Russia going to go in? And like, you know, they were close, you know, Iran's close to getting nukes supposedly, right? Was Russia going to go in and save the day? Was China going to go in and save the day? Was freaking Canada going to go? No. You know, were we just going to sit there and wait till they have a nuke? Like, yeah, it's going to suck because now they're going to retaliate and this could draw us further into a big conflict that we don't want to be in, but we could also be nuked if they get nuclear capabilities. So it's like, get nuked, or have one of our allies get nuked, or have them set off a nuke and then our allies set off a nuke and now everybody's shooting nukes and world's over, or we do this thing that gets us involved and yeah, there could be death and bad things that happen, but there's a chance of survival, right? With a nuke, it's like, yo, we screwed. Massey NG says, delusional. Jack says, Iran was firing on American boats that were in international waters. Their attacks were tolerated for years by the U.S. The fact that we attacked now shows how patient America is. Yeah. Pretty much. Let's see. Wizard says, people don't understand the size and scale of nukes. So we didn't want to get involved when Trump was running for office. Now that he's in office, we're all about getting involved. I'm confused. Well, you know, things change because maybe they weren't that close to getting a nuke before. And then time goes on. And now they were closer. I don't know. Maybe they were still a couple years away from it. But what was the option? Wait a couple years and have to deal with it then and potentially let them have a nuke and then, oh, well, now things have completely changed because we just can't go in there and drop a bomb because now they have a nuke. And they could be like, if you come anywhere near our airspace, we're going to launch this nuke at Israel. And then what do? Right? Or do we go in there ahead of time with a preemptive strike, take that capability away? You know? So I think Trump just kind of made the best choice he could with what he had. Obviously, there's going to be consequences regardless, but you just can't sit back, right? Dragula says, it was clear that Iran was going to use those weapons what they were going to use those weapons for. They have been telling us for years. Yeah, like, if they're saying, like, if they had a nuke, they would use it, and they've been saying it over and over and over and over again, and also funding terrorism, and those terrorists say death to America and all that crap, when do you start to believe like they're actually serious? You know? Do you believe the crazy persons that's yelling, "Oh, we're gonna hurt you, we're gonna hurt you"? Do you believe them, or you just be like, they're just joking around. Let's just let them have a nuke, see what happens. They're just messing. No. You kind of have to take them seriously eventually, right? Right? I think it sends a pretty strong message that, hey, you do this, you keep poking the bear, the bear's gonna hit back. James Bullitt says, we just need a president that doesn't waver according to public opinion. Never seen a president waver this bad in my 60 years. I don't think he really wavered, man. I mean, he gave them 60 days, and then he gave them a couple weeks. He wanted to try diplomacy, but then when they came out and said, no, like even now that we've lost air superiority, even now that they've taken out 40% of our rocket launchers, even now we're not going to de-escalate things with our nuke program. Trump probably looked at that and was like, okay, they're not going to stop. We got to take these away ourselves. I feel like he had no other option, or at least he thought he had no other option. Cam Parr says, are there going to be protests in blue cities over this? Probably. We are repeating the Iraq war. I mean, Bush said they had, weapons of mass destruction, and he was wrong. But just because George Bush was wrong about that doesn't mean Trump was wrong about this. They're two different situations. Just because one thing was not true doesn't mean that Iran was not developing a nuke. It's like, well, they said this was happening like 20 years ago or whatever, and that wasn't real. So this must... No, it's two different situations. It's like, oh, well, that guy said that dog was going to bite me, and that dog didn't bite me. Meanwhile, you have like a Rottweiler foaming at the mouth, and they're like, well, that dog didn't bite me back then, so this dog ain't going to bite me now. Like, bro, you kind of have to look at things for what they are sometimes. It's like, bro. Dan Aran says the question isn't whether they use them. The issue is all the credible intelligence points to them being no closer to nuclear ordinance than they were 30 years ago. But how do we know? Like, have we seen the documents? Are we in the Pentagon right now, seeing what Trump sees? I feel like there's some top secret information that isn't just available on the internet. July 4th is second wave of No King's Day protests. I feel like the first wave didn't really go too well, right? Richard Andrews says Tulsi Gabbard said they didn't have nuclear weapons as of yet. I know she said that in that video, but wasn't that video like 2 or 3 months ago? Like, things can change, right? And then she came out, I think 2 days ago, and said she stands with Trump, and what she said was taken out of context or something. I don't know the full details of it. The U.S. won't put boots on the ground. Yeah, they're not going to put boots on the ground. Why would they need to put boots on the ground? They didn't have nukes. Well, they're definitely not going to have nukes now, or at least anytime soon. Wodat says, I love Donald J. Trump. What up, Wodat? Meta says, so is there a possibility this is wrong? I mean, maybe. But the fact that they said they're not going to scale back their nuclear program, I mean, doesn't that say a lot as well? It's like, well, you guys don't want nukes, right? You don't have nukes. You don't want nukes. Well, why don't you just scale back your nuke program? It's like, well, we don't. No. Doesn't that say something? Richard Andrews says, now we're going to have political terrorism threats in the U.S. for the next 15 generations because these Middle Eastern guys, they don't give up so easily. But weren't we already having threats? Like, weren't we having threats already, though?
Again, just look on the channel. But if you just sit there, it should take you to the next stream. Okay, YouTube viewers?
Okay, let's see here. Let's go back to Fox and see what they're saying.
Them frequently, unfortunately.
So now there's still sirens going off on and on in Israel because of incoming missiles from Iran.
Forces, not just the police and the army and the military, but medical forces.
Pam says Iran just attacked Israel again with the missiles. Yeah. There's been didn't they launch like 42 missiles just within like the last half hour?
Fires, address the wounded, shore up buildings that may be in damaged and in a state of collapse.
But the thing is, though, they've been launching missiles, right? So maybe Israel's like, well, they're going to be shooting missiles regardless. At least now we know that they don't have a nuke, right? Like they don't have a nuke and they're going to shoot missiles. Or they could shoot missiles and potentially get a nuke. At least we know they don't have a nuke.
Get what you need to do in the emergency management structure after an attack.
Rob, I do want to get
David says, if you were Iran, would you scale it back? They are in an existential fight for their lives now.
Asking this Sunday morning, what happens if the United States gets
It was at 60% enrichment. That's pretty high though, right? 60% enrichment.
Gets involved in this war. Very interesting questions because a lot of viewers and people across
Iran isn't innocent by any means, but this excuse and conflict are two things we don't need any part of. Reggie says they never had one and they weren't getting one anytime soon. But they were trying to, right?
Against Iran.
Like if Iran had a genie, right? And they were like, and the genie was like, you got a wish. We'll give you one wish. What do you think Iran's gonna wish for? Probably a nuke, right? Or they're gonna be like, can you make this nuke program go as fast as it possibly can so we can get a nuke? Or do you think they're gonna be like, we don't need a nuke. Nuke or no nuke? Nuke or no? If somebody like put a nuke in a little package and was like, hey, you can have a nuke, or you can just get along with everybody. They'd be like, we'll take a nuke. Everybody says America just wants the oil. I don't think America gives a crap about the oil. We have oil here. We have a crap ton of oil in America. Why would we go over there to get oil? Like, why would we get in a war when we got oil here? Iran shouldn't have a nuke. Oh yeah, let's check that poll real quick, guys. Okay, so I asked the question, do you think Iran should have a nuke? Dang, 200 people have voted so far. 210 people have voted so far. 16% of you say yes, Iran should have a nuke. And 85% of you say no, Iran should not have a nuke. Well, that's lower than before because the other night, there was like 30%. 30% of people in the chat were like, yeah, Iran should have a nuke. I'm like, bro, what? What? I don't think that's a good idea, guys. I really don't think that's a good idea. If you knew a person that was kind of known for driving drunk, right? Drunk driving, are you going to give them the keys to your car? Probably not. But like, hey guys, you can't have a track record with getting pulled over for drunk driving. Yeah, maybe we're not going to give you the keys to our car. You know? Yeah. China has nukes. The internet generally does not represent the average American. That's true. Unami says some American Christians seem to believe that they will not go to heaven if they are not in service to Israel. I mean, I'm sure some people believe anything. Meta says the U.S. drives drunk in the Middle East. Richard Andrew, so why can't a country have nukes to protect them? Not saying they can't, but when that country says death to America and funds terrorism, maybe you don't want that country to have a nuke, you know? AJ says, do you know how the only country used the nukes in this world? Richard says, United States has used nukes on a sovereign country, so why are they trying to tell us sovereign country what they can have and what they can and can't have? America funds terrorism too?
On the side of Israel. So if folks are worried about us,
if you're just popping into the stream, guys, welcome. We are kind of talking about Iran and the whole nuke situation. U.S. went in there today, like 4 hours ago. Went in, bombed 3 facilities. From what I've heard, there was a submarine that launched like 40 Javelin missiles, took out the other facilities, or something along those lines. Basically, the facilities are gone. Iran saying like they weren't really damaged that much, that the nuclear material that was in them, that was moved out long ago. Of course they're going to say that. They're not going to be like, oh yeah, you guys won, right? They're going to try to spin it any way they can to make it seem like it's not as bad as it actually is. Zach says, how behind is this live? This live right here, this live is up to date. The one we're watching right now. This is from Fox Live now. We're just kind of bouncing around to different feeds. This guy's pretty good. This is Agenda Free TV. He's got
YouTube viewers.
You're just kind of watching what's happening because there were some sirens sounding in Israel. I think Iran like shot 42 missiles.
Just only YouTube.
And now we're watching live news from Fox, and they're kind of just talking about the situation as well. Squiggly says, yes, the United States used it in World War II. Donald Hill says, none of the experts are aware of the Non-Proliferation Act. Read up on it and you understand why Iran can't have nukes. Iran is also being sanctioned, by the way. Iran saying that makes me think they won't retaliate. What is Iran saying, Kevin? Zach says, this was literally ages ago when it comes to social media. Leonidas says, or that's the truth, and America did not actually hurt them with what they had enriched. America took $300 billion from its people to give to a terrorist state to kill innocent people. Not much damage, no big deal. I'm pretty sure they damaged the facilities pretty... I mean, there's some footage out there, and those blasts looked pretty big. And Iran funds terrorism, so I feel like we shouldn't let them have nukes, right? Russia and China are on our side. Well, I wouldn't say they're on our side, but just because they're not on our side doesn't mean they're on Iran's side, right? Too bad nukes have spoiled the amazing potential that nuclear energy could provide to the country because it scares people. Yeah, nuclear energy, like, it's come a long way. Like, you hear about Chernobyl and stuff, and it freaks everybody out, and all these, movies and stuff based around nuclear, accidents and, mutations and stuff. But nuclear power has actually gotten really safe. It's just everybody has a bad taste in their mouth because of what happened, in the past. But it does have the potential to revolutionize energy. It is a very safe energy, all things considered, if you use it right. But not a lot of people want to take advantage of it because it's kind of a hard thing to sell, right? Charlie AG says, watch Iran and Lebanon. I'm assuming Russia is going to push back too. China will sanction Israel more than likely. I mean, probably. Reggie says, Iran doesn't have the means to attack the U.S. homeland. Donald says, Israel is not a signatory to the NPT and has a policy of neither confirming nor denying its nuclear weapons status, but it is widely believed it possesses them. KD1 says nuclear plants only use 2 to 20%. Anything above that is for weapons. Nuclear power is great. I'm currently sitting on a waterfront with 8 reactors. Unami says long-term energy independence is understandable desire. Access to thorium technology could potentially help resolve the situation. About 90% is what we guess Israel has stockpiled. Mo Shong says, is China sanctioning Israel? We don't know yet. Nothing's really came out. They're on a commercial break.
On 3 YouTube. Let's see.
Did he Did he end his live stream? No, there's still 48,000 people watching this guy.
To be launched towards the territory of the state of Israel.
Iranian missiles hit Israel after U.S. bombs
soldiers of the
Iran.
Iranian military forces enclosed the circle and destroyed launchers that had launched.
So I guess a couple of the missiles got through the Iron Dome in Israel. This is a live footage from Israel right now. I think this is from their news networks over there. Massey says Russia is going to mess up Ukraine and China is going to mess up Taiwan now. Keep those comments coming, guys.
So again,
Dirt says Hamas doesn't even want to get involved with Iran and Israel right now.
Keep attacking. Well, look at this. Look
Yeah,
at the
isn't it?
damage in Haifa.
Isn't it crazy how like Iran funds a lot of terrorism, but those terrorists were nowhere to be seen to like back up Iran when Israel started like hitting them with jets.
Israel, there has been some of them hit with
You know.
some damage. We're seeing damage in Haifa right now.
Goes to show you can't trust terrorists, right? Maybe don't give terrorists, maybe don't fund terrorists because when push comes to shove, when you need help, they're not going to come help you. Kind of crazy how that is, right? The United says, what is the real chance of Iran hitting an American military base? Well, I mean, there's a lot of aircraft carrier and aircraft carriers surrounding it. Well, now because Trump put them in position. I think if they did try to launch missiles or attack one of our bases directly,
Look at that damage right there. Wow.
we'd probably catch it. It's the it's like the lone wolves and the people that might get radicalized because of this. You know, just the crazy people with like a pipe bomb or whatever it might be that are just going to go somewhere and cause crazy amounts of chaos because they don't agree with what happened, right? Because Iran could be like, look at America, it did this and blah blah blah, it did this and this, and then it's like you need a if you stand with Israel, if you stand with Iran, then you need to attack, you know. I think people are kind of afraid about that more than Iran attacking our military directly. Fierce Tree Farm says Iran trying to get street cred.
Okay, this is very interesting.
So China is now projecting their power by sanctioning the state of Israel. Are they doing that?
A lot of the Iranian rhetoric in the past few hours is that Fordo wasn't badly damaged and that Fordo doesn't even matter anyway because nuclear material was moved elsewhere. Greg says, we don't know if such claims are true or not, but initial messaging is trying to downplay the strike.
So Iran's basically saying, oh yeah, the strikes happened, but
another video
you know, we didn't even need that facility. Like we already moved all the stuff we needed out of there early. Like it doesn't matter because we can rebuild. We don't need that facility. Nothing's changed. That's what they're saying. That's the way they're trying to spin it. But I think they know they're screwed. They know they effed up.
It says it is in Tel Aviv.
They called America's bluff, and Trump was like, "Okay, okay."
Now we have a video from Tel Aviv, but it's not really showing that much in detail. So we're sticking with this video from Haifa right now.
Tyrannus says, "Oh Lord, feels like World War III."
Reportedly, I think there's the latest I heard was 16.
I don't believe a word they said. Yeah, I think obviously they're gonna be trying to downplay it. Like they're not gonna come out and be like, "Oh yeah, America hit us hard. We're severely damaged."
15 lightly injured, 1
They're not going to say that.
But again, that number could go up as the.
They're going to try to like spin it in like, oh, it doesn't really matter. Like that base was old. It was falling apart. We didn't need it. We moved everything out months ago. We're still on track to creating a nuke. You know, they're going to say whatever they can to make it seem like it's not as bad as it actually is. But I'm not buying it.
Gene Crane, Fu Misith.
What's your take on this war? Do you really think Iran is going to back down? I mean, probably not. But I don't think they're going to... I don't think they stand a chance against the U.S. military. The world's largest military.
Also,
Nah.
Alice Feigelson, thank you. And Fleazy on Twitch.
Their culture won't allow for any defeat. Tyrannia says, forget what they say, what will they do? Then more importantly, what will we do? Think about Japan. Yeah? It's going to be interesting, guys. Like, man. Oh, let's check on the poll we got right now. Dang, 343 people have voted, guys. If you haven't voted yet, I asked the question, do you think Iran should have nukes? Okay, so vote on that in the chat, yes or no. 343 people have voted. 18% of you say yes, Iran should have nukes. And 82% of you say Iran should not have nukes.
Now Israel launching
very interesting. Also, if you're watching the video, guys, I appreciate you so much. Consider hitting that thumbs up button. This video has almost 10,000 views. Last night's live stream had 32,000 views. The night before, it was 52,000 views. So I appreciate you guys popping in. But yeah, definitely hit that like button and consider subscribing. I am going to turn on subscriber only mode. So if you've been a subscriber, no, so actually, if you're a subscriber, you'll be able to leave a comment.
The Kyber missile.
Maybe that will help me keep up with reading the comments a little bit easier.
Kyber. I know nothing.
But if you hit the subscribe button, you will be able to leave a comment. So consider subscribing.
Kyber missile.
I think I turned it on. There we go.
I have to look it up.
Okay, subscriber only mode is turned on. So if you're a subscriber, keep those comments coming.
Unveiled in
MMA says Jody Fina cheat on when you wait what? How do we know the bunkers were empty? We don't know the bunkers were empty. I mean, they're saying the bunkers were empty, but I mean, it's the facility itself, right? Whether they were empty or not, they're not going to be able to use those facilities anymore. And that's going to set them back, right? Because now they're going to have to use new facilities. This uranium isn't enriched enough to be used, guys. Only way we could know is boots on the ground. I don't think we're putting boots on the ground. Hey, we got a new subscriber. Thank you, Dirt, for subscribing, bro. Appreciate you, man. Also, guys, quick shout out to all of the subscribers that hit the join button and became members on the channel. These are a few of the subscribers that are helping support the channel and helping me keep my internet going. So thank you guys for hitting the member button and all the super chats. Appreciate it.
At Israel.
We shouldn't put boots on the ground, by the way. Yeah. We shouldn't put boots on the ground. Trump has said, yeah, he's not even. That's not even in the ballpark of happening. He does not want boots on the ground. Donald Hill, thank you for subscribing, man.
Look at all that damage here.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
Is this damage? Hold on, look at this other shot. Guys, look at this.
Dang.
Look at this. Is that damage there? Or is that just the apartment building? That's in Tel Aviv, guys.
Elias, how you doing, Elias?
I mean, I don't even know if that's damage or not. Could be the apartment building, could be under construction. I can't tell.
Also, guys, if you want to help support the channel, you can send a super chat, or you can hit the join button, become a member, or you can just subscribe. It all helps out. Either way, I appreciate you hanging out, chatting it up with me. We're just looking at the different news stories that are going on. This guy is watching a live feed from Israel.
That's not Haifa, that's Tel Aviv.
This is some of the damage that some of the missiles have done that Iran has been shooting over there. What a mess. And it's 9 in the morning over in Israel right now. 9 a.m. over there.
Oh, that's damage right there. Oh. That's damage right there. You know, I don't know.
Iran missiles hit Israel before the USA bombed Iran.
In Tel
Yeah.
Aviv, there was, I
Is
believe,
Netanyahu even
there was
Israel
like this
right now?
long
I believe he's in
four-story building
Israel.
that was just devastated.
Dirt says satellites can see what we used to see without putting people in danger. Yeah, we don't necessarily. Yeah, we can see it with satellites.
Camera, I'm not sure.
It can all be seen from satellites.
But that certainly looks like damage right there in Tel Aviv. There's you can check my X account. I've posted videos on my X account showing a 4-story building.
Give me
I think in
1
Tel Aviv,
second.
The whole side of the building has been taken off. But that's some pretty.
Hey, we got a new subscriber. Thank you, Jessica Carroll. Thank you, Jessica. They are not willing to hit U.S. targets yet. Yeah, I think they know, like, yo, maybe we shouldn't.
That is
maybe we need to like it. Maybe we need to really plan out what we're gonna do, and not just start like hitting military bases, because Trump could just do something crazier than he just did. Guys, if you want to help support the channel and become a member, and also get some perks along with it, I put a link in the chat. If you want to become members. If not, don't worry about it. But I pinned that in the chat in case anybody's interested. Jessica, thank you again for subscribing. Appreciate that. Man, what a mess. That is this is footage from Tel Aviv in Israel. And it's 9 in the morning. Logic here, guys. If uranium is not 90% and the facility is destroyed, they can't centrifuge it to 90%? Centrifuge it to 90%? Donald says, if China is pissed because they're going to lose oil supply from Iran. I don't think Iran, well, I know we don't really get a lot of oil from Iran. I don't know about China, though. Jessica says, I'm a veteran and I have a son deployed in Kuwait in September. Well, tell your son we appreciate his service, and I hope he stays safe. And yeah, he'll definitely be in our prayers. Israel and U.S. have been using precision strikes, minimalizing casualties unlike Iran. Let me see here. Boom. Boom. That is a big mess. Whoop. Dave says, can Trump really trust intelligence and info from the military-industrial complex? Didn't they dump him 4 years ago? The supposed bunkers that were constructed makes sense now. Donald says, China is their #1 buyer for oil. Oh, is it? Well, I mean,
look at Tel Aviv. Hold on.
If Iran is just like,
there's back at Tel Aviv, more damage there.
If Iran is just like, maybe we just start talking about some peace. Maybe we start talking about some peace.
Haifa.
So, could you give me
Then they don't have to worry about, sanctions.
The name is Erez Geller. The position is Regional Director, Carmel Region of Magen David Adom.
So can you give a quick update on what happened and what do we know?
Guys, so they're interviewing somebody in Israel right now.
Over here is a rocket attack on Haifa city. Our ambulances and intensive care unit rushed to the scene. We discovered over here 4 minor wounded and 2 people with anxiety reaction. That's it. Our EMTs and
most of the intel is
rushed
coming
to
from
the
Israel.
Hospital within 10 minutes, and thank God, that's everything for now. One of my volunteers live over here in the building behind us. He was minor wounded. He left everything, gave first aid, and only after the event, he went to the hospital to check himself. Other than that, everything is okay. Thank you. Keep safe.
So they said 4 minor wounded in that area in Haifa City.
So 4 minor wounded, no deaths, fatalities. That's good.
We have here
The U.S. has our own oil. We don't need to go elsewhere to get it. Yeah.
Tel Aviv.
True.
Right.
That's a lot of rubble. Okay, let's go back to Fox. And let's see if they've updated their feed. What are they talking about? Let's see here. What is Fox talking? Oh, Fox has got the same image, I think. Yeah, Fox is watching the same thing. That car is not going to be driving away anytime soon. Dave Williams says, Intel, that's probably flawed considering Netanyahu is a war criminal and wants to prolong this war in order to get answers to war crimes. Not get answers to war crimes. Wizard says, we do need to control the region if we are going to risk open conflict with other superpowers.
As Iranian missiles have struck the city of Tel Aviv there in central Israel. We were told at last count at least 5 people have been taken to
Let's check the poll in the chat. How many people have voted?
Coming on the heels of breaking news we've been following.
Let me see here, 1 second. 374 people, almost 400 people have voted, guys. Okay, so do you think do you think Iran should have nukes? 18% say yes, and 82% say no.
We see the aftermath early this
So you guys can vote on that.
Iran retaliating against Israel. 2:06 is the time here on the East Coast. Good morning to you if you're just now tuning in.
Good morning. They're 2 hours ahead of us.
With this breaking news after a brief 2-minute commercial break. Don't go anywhere.
A brief 2-minute commercial break. Okay, well, we're going to go back to this guy then. A brief commercial break.
Dina Neal, thank you for
Too radical to let them have nukes? Yeah, I don't, nah. No. Bad idea.
Linda Larry, Misha over on X.
Iran is the second largest producer of oil in that region behind Saudi Arabia, who is at number 1. Wizard says America has the largest oil reserves, but that region represents a significant amount of the global supply, effectively thwarting any war efforts against the U.S. Isn't there also like some waterway or something that like a lot of ships have to go through? So if they like cut that off, oil prices are going to go up. It's like the Strait of something. I can't remember the exact name, but they were talking about it the other day. You guys know what I'm talking about?
DJ says, I can only assume since
I can't remember the exact name.
We'll have to see. I just don't
but I know that like it's a very popular shipping lane, and if they interfere with that, it could have some big consequences. Question: if this regime fails, who do you think is gonna fill the power vacuum? Maybe the Crown Prince, the exiled Crown Prince. Maybe, I don't know. I think from what I heard the other nights, the leader of Iran, he's already like picked his next 3 like predecessors from what I've heard. I don't think any of those are the Crown Prince since he was exiled, but yeah, from what I've heard, he's already picked the next 3 people in line. So like if yeah. So I don't know.
Guys, I think what I'm going to do
Fun Crime TV says the Strait of Gibraltar. Is that how you pronounce it? Gibraltar.
I have to dump that food out, put more food in the air fryer, and leave the stream going.
The Navy is already covering that shipping lane. Okay, yeah. So I'm sure Trump already thought of that. You think the Prince will take over? Life of Riley official says it's the Suez Canal. No, it's a different one.
Anyways, thank you.
U.S. Navy will protect the strait from what's happening. Yeah.
So if you give me a second, I'm going to go.
Gibraltar? That's how you pronounce
Yeah,
it?
the food,
Gibraltar?
I have to just make new food. It's not going to be really edible at this point. So
The Strait of
whatever.
Gibraltar. Okay.
It's fine. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But
Donald says Saudi Arabia showed up publicly that they're going to supply the U.S. with oil no matter what Trump's visit. China is hurting for petroleum right now. Gibraltar.
I'm going to leave the video on the screen for you. I'm going to turn the volume up, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes.
British stronghold is Gibraltar. Yeah, I suck at pronouncing names, guys. Oh, guys, do me a favor. Smash that like button. We got 34 likes. Can we get 100 likes on this video? Every time you hit the like button, we go a little bit higher in the YouTube algorithm. More people see it, the more likes the video has. So consider smashing it if you're enjoying the stream. Did anyone hear about the earthquake in Iran? Or was that just misinformation? Like, I don't know. It could have been the bombs. I'm sure the bombs felt like an earthquake. Those bombs probably felt like an earthquake. Okay, so what are they back from a break yet?
Their uranium enrichment capabilities and increasing the purity closer and closer to weapons-grade material. And the concern was that the Iranian regime was just weeks away from being able to build a nuclear bomb. We've seen over the past 9 days the country.
So they're kind of recapping what went down.
Major population centers.
Thank you, Maya. Thank you. Is it Maya? Appreciate it, Maya.
That could ultimately be attached to a ballistic missile would clearly be a direct threat to the Jewish state. And that was why the Israelis said that they made the decision to start these strikes against Iranian nuclear facilities and against top IRGC officials. And clearly tonight, President Trump ordering these strikes against the Iranian regime's nuclear program because there was no...
Cornflake Gaming, how you doing, man? Welcome back, bro.
And so this is a historic
excuse me.
in the Middle East tonight. And again,
Yeah, we had like 200 people watching at one point.
Laid out in his statement for peace in the future, because this is a region that understands peace.
Don Hall, how you doing, bro?
Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated.
Completely and totally obliterated.
All right, so that was the very latest from Fox News correspondent Trey Yings, joining us live in Israel all throughout the Saturday and early Sunday morning. We'll have
Zam says, why didn't anyone stop America from entering war? Will American citizens continue to pay taxes to fund wars in the Middle East?
On this Sunday morning, I want to share with you the very latest.
Don says, USA.
Commander-in-Chief as
Warlord says, any word on if more U.S. airstrikes?
On Truth Social, Pete Hegseth putting this morning as
no, not since the initial bombing that happened.
By Iran against the United States of America will be met with force.
But he did say that.
Greater than what was witnessed tonight.
He said, "Do not retaliate."
Commander-in-Chief concludes his statement by saying, "Thank you, Donald J. Trump,
because you'll regret it."
Of the United
Paraphrasing,
States.
but
it has been met with criticism, but also it has been met with acceptance and happiness. Secretary Kristi Noem putting out on X, "We will work unceasingly to protect the American."
This isn't the same Trump from 2016.
Donald Trump.
Hey, new subscriber. Thank you, Webna Aluma.
Taking you back out.
Am I pronouncing that right? I might not be pronouncing that right.
President Donald Trump
Thank you for subscribing, though. Appreciate you. Everybody you see in the chat is a subscriber, by the way, because I have subscriber mode turned on. Obliterated, and they launched attack. Please stop, Donald. Yes, they launched. We launched an attack. We took out 3 of their nuclear facilities, and then we got out of there. And that's pretty much what the U.S. has done so far, aside from, obviously giving Israel weapons and whatnot. And then Trump came out and he said what he's about to say on screen right now. In case you guys missed it earlier, is only about like a 2-minute speech.
Thank you very much. A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime, Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan.
Does them attacking Israel? No, they were already attacking Israel. I think he said if they retaliate against any U.S. bases, because they were already, you know, attacking Israel. So
nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular military success.
how you doing? Game over.
Iran's key nuclear enrichment facilities have been completely and totally obliterated. Iran, the bully of the Middle East, must now make peace.
Strait of Hormuz.
If they do not, future attacks will be far greater and a lot easier. For 40 years, Iran has been saying death to America, death to Israel. They have been killing our people, blowing off their arms, blowing
I don't know what
off
Trump
roadside bombs.
will qualify as like retaliation. I think in the speech he said retaliation against American, like, you know, American troops.
So many were killed by their general, Qasem Soleimani. I decided a long time
But I mean,
ago
it would be in Iran's best interest to maybe not,
I want to thank and
you know, maybe try to not shoot more missiles at Israel. I mean, that would probably be a smart thing to do. But, you know,
and we've gone a long way to
I think America can't do anything if orders come from Israel. Remember Epstein files? Not the nukes you need to worry about. It's the locust clouds of drones, each with 1 gram of explosive. Yeah, drones can be scary.
And all of the United States military on an operation the likes of which the world has not seen in many, many decades. Hopefully, we will no longer need their services in this capacity. I hope that's so. I also want to congratulate.
So the ball's kind of in Iran's court right now. They can choose to stop the fighting, and then we can like do a ceasefire type thing, try to negotiate, or they can continue to fight, and this thing just keeps going.
We have witnessed over the last 8 days. Remember, there are many.
Yeah, Warlord. I believed not too long ago they just launched like 42 missiles or something. A couple of them hit some targets in Israel, so they're still launching at Israel. They didn't stop.
Speed and skill. Most of them can be taken out in a matter of minutes. There's no military in the world that could have done what we did tonight, not even close. There has never been a military that could do what took place just a little while ago. Tomorrow, General Kane, Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth will have a press conference at 8 a.m. at the Pentagon. And I want to just thank everybody, and in particular, God. I want to just say we love you, God, and we love our great military. Protect them. God bless the Middle East. God bless Israel, and God bless America.
Warlord says it's unfortunate. All they have to do is stop, and it'll stop. Yeah. It's like put the shovel down. Stop digging the hole. You don't have to dig any deeper. Put the shovel down. But they just keep digging. Game Over says, all right, have a good night, everyone. Thanks for popping in. Game Over. Appreciate it. Davis says, the 2 guys behind him hated him 4 years ago. What a joke. Well, people's mind can change, you know?
U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth and the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Air Force General. They will both hold a briefing at the Pentagon as it relates to this breaking news alert. Now, following the statements from
maybe that tells people like, hey, maybe he's not as bad as people say he is. If the 2 people that hated him now work for him,
take you across international waters and give you a live
maybe they know something we don't.
You can see Jerusalem and also
Zamp says Israel attacked Iran 3 days before the final round of negotiations with Iran. Anyone has answers? Did we kill anyone in the strikes today? Not that I know of. It hasn't came out that we did. But there's going to be more information in the news conference tomorrow morning. Pete Hegseth is going to kind of go into the details. What Trump said tonight was pretty short and sweet.
Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been
How you doing, Maternal Waters?
Unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do. History will record that President
He's trying to avoid regime change, yeah.
the world's most dangerous regime, the world's most dangerous
Fun Crime TV, did we just enter World War III?
has created a pivot of history.
I mean, we'll find out.
Lead the Middle East and beyond to a future of prosperity and peace. President Trump and I often
I mean, a lot of people can say they condone it, like Russia can say, you know, the U.S. was wrong, whatever, China. But, you know, they could say stuff, they can come out with a statement. But saying, you know, a statement is different than actually getting involved and doing something, right? So they can put on paper, hey, you guys shouldn't have done this, it was wrong of you to do this, blah, blah, blah. They could say that, but if they don't really do anything, then, you know, it's just words.
Congratulations.
All right, so that was the very latest from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He did give those remarks.
But yeah, nobody really wants a war to start. If you're just popping in, guys, welcome to the channel. If you would like to leave a comment, hit the subscribe button. Anybody that's been a subscriber for a minute or longer can drop a comment down there. Also, vote on the poll we got going in the chat, guys. I asked the question: do you think Iran should have nukes? 405 people have voted so far. 20% say yes, Iran should have nukes, and 80% say no, Iran should not.
Well, we actually have an answer to that question.
For those of you that voted on yes, for those of you that think Iran should have nukes, why do you think they should have nukes? I'm just curious, because I don't think it's a good idea.
Early this Sunday morning, this strike.
You know, I don't think that's necessarily a good idea for them to have nukes, but that's just me.
They also say that officials are out there combing.
Life of Riley says Mother Nature at boiling point. Mother Nature's at boiling point. She's low in iron in her throat. Wait, what? We were all low in iron. Iron keeps our immune system strong and helps blood soak up oxygen. You're in Seattle, Washington. Glad I'm not in Los Angeles. Nice. Yeah, I live in Idaho. Used to live in New Mexico, but I live in Idaho now. If they have them, they will use them. Yeah, Fun Crime, pretty sure they'll use them. This is footage right now from Israel. Some of the missiles from Iran hit some targets. I think 4 people were injured, but no fatalities. Oh, this might be a different strike.
Can you tell me around the country how many patients you do now? I still don't know. As you can see, we're here live on the ground, boots on the ground.
Also, guys, again, I want to give a shout out to these people you see on screen. Sandra Logue, Brian Griffin, Thunder Ducky, King Gubby's Lair, Little Bean Man, Jeebus, and Adzaloni. Nusuka also became a member on the channel last night, but I didn't have a chance to put her picture up there. But her name is down, scrolling below. So thank you guys again for clicking on the link in the chat and becoming members on the channel. Appreciate it. You're helping keep my internet on, so you guys are the real MVP. We already saw that part, so let me go back to this guy's video. This is Agenda Free TV's stream. Oh, I guess he's on a little break, so it's just playing the same footage, but man, but trees are blown up, rubble, half that building's gone. What question, guys, should I ask the chat next? Post in the comments. What do you think I should? What poll do you think I should ask the community next? This one has 412 votes so far. What should I ask the community to vote yes or no on? Post your suggestions in the chat. This is the worst game of Risk ever. Yeah. This is virtual reality risk. Well, it's got to be a yes or no question. Hey guys, new subscriber. I'm originally from LA, but moved to the Parka Mountains, and things are relatively calm. Oh, nice. Yeah, I've heard LA is kind of going through some tough times right now with all the protests and whatnot. Gavin Newsom is running that state into the ground, in my opinion. But glad things are more mellow where you live now, man. Welcome to the channel, by the way, and thank you for subscribing, man. Appreciate that. Same reason why North Korea has no one dares to attack this one. Iran will do another Iraq and Libya. Oh, you live in Iowa? Join the heat. Yeah, it was a little bit cooler here today. It was only like in the 70s here in Idaho today, but the past few days it's been like in the 90s. I work outside, so it's really hot on the pavement, like 20 degrees hotter. But it's gotten a little bit cooler. It's actually a little bit chilly out right now, so that was kind of a nice change. You should ask if Israel forced our hand to intervene. Gavin Newsom doesn't like the president. I think he's a Democrat. Yeah, Gavin Newsom and the president do not get along. I haven't ran into a single homeless person. Yes, there's financial difference between spread and wealth, but nothing like LA. Yeah, I heard there's a big homeless problem in LA for sure. You moved to Hawaii 18 years ago. Nice. How are things in Hawaii, man? I just watched Lilo and Stitch, and that was filmed in Hawaii, I believe. Very nice looking place. I've never been there, but definitely seems like it's a beautiful place to live. Where do they keep nuclear? In massive hydroelectric dams. Lancaster bomber was dam buster bouncing barrel bomb. Wait, what? They blew up the dams which flood the plains you live upon. So I'll pause the audio for there right now. 423 people voted. 21 say yes, Iran should have nukes, and 79% say no, they should not. Okay, I'm going to end this poll, guys. Right? I'm going to end that poll. And I'm going to ask a different question. What question should I ask? I'm impressed that the strike wasn't leaked before it happened. And yes, I mainly play video games on my channel, but I do like political videos like this occasionally as well. I like reacting to news stories and stuff. And when I'm playing video games, I talk about politics and stuff too. I pretty much talk about anything people want to talk about. But yeah, it's primarily a gaming channel, but I do videos like this too. So it's like a little bit of both. I do vlogs and reaction videos and stuff like that. Next question. Will China attack Taiwan soon? Okay, let's ask that. Let's ask that question. Why not? Let's ask that. Wait, why won't let me copy and paste? There you go, paste. Will China attack Taiwan soon? Sure. Yes or no? We'll just see. What do people think? Will China attack Taiwan soon? That question was asked by Zam Khan in the chat. Anyone paying attention could have definitely seen the B-2 bombers taken off earlier from Missouri if they were paying attention. Yeah, there were like reports that they were heading toward, was it Guam or Kuwait? I don't know. But yeah, Trump was like, yeah, I'm going to decide within the next 2 weeks. Probably like making Iran think like, oh, we got 2 weeks. We got plenty of time to plan. And then like 2 days later, boom. Hits him with a curveball. If National Guard fail at civil unrest, they blow the dams. Last resort, no nuclear war. I voted no because I think that will be in 2027. Wasn't leaked because you don't let the targets know you're coming. Yeah. Guys, this live stream has had almost 14,000 viewers pop in. 14,000 different people have popped in at one point or another during this stream. That's pretty cool. What's the 4.2 earthquake that happened in Iran before all this? I don't know. I didn't hear about that. Thank you for the emojis in the chat, by the way, guys. Appreciate it. Let me go back to here.
No. Let us know what you think if you haven't already done so by scanning that.
President Trump ordered U.S. strike in Iran. Was that a good idea? I mean, I basically asked the same. Hey, we got like more or less the same. Then I get more or less the same. I mean, pretty much. So they asked the question. Trump ordered U.S. strikes in Iran. Was that a good idea? 74% said yes. 26% said no. I asked the question, do you think Iran should have nukes? Which is more or less the same question, just in a different way. 79 of you said no, and 20% said yes. So I guess it was kind of flipped. But, interesting. But it's similar. Near the nuclear facility, a 4.2 magnitude earthquake happened. You should check it out. They're saying a 1 megaton nuclear warhead was tested before the U.S. bombed. Huh. A 1 megaton nuclear warhead was tested before they bombed. Interesting. Okay, let's check on the poll. 19 people have voted. Will China attack Taiwan soon? The votes are still coming in. In the chat we got. 45% say yes and 55% say no out of 20 votes. So feel free to vote on that poll, guys.
That QR code on your screen or by going to livenowfox.com/connect. Once you get
livenowfox.com
on the Vote Now tab, and you'll have two options, yes or no. We'll continue to share these in real time here on Live Now from
The
Fox.
world stage is now open.
There has been a wide array of opinions on this Sunday.
Definitely mixed opinions for sure. Donald Hill says they may have come out of Missouri or they may have came out of Diego Garcia. There's a thing they call distractionary tactics. It happens all the time. Our Navy does it all the time. I believe they came out of Diego Garcia. I've heard that name come up before.
Decisive action in Iran and demonstrating peace through
So it's like, hey, look over here, but then it actually,
military personnel are the best in the world.
They actually come from somewhere else.
Continue to be in our prayers. End quote. This next one coming from Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Warlord says, I think if we didn't intervene, Israel probably told Trump they were going to nuke them. That would have caused so much more chaos. Yeah, I mean, you never know.
By terrorists on our homeland after our border was open for the past 4 years and over 2
I think that was the payload that was dropped. Trump didn't announce it until they were safe. Yeah, that's probably the you're right, man. That was probably the payload. Because like Trump announced, like Trump sent the tweet, but I'm sure Trump didn't send the tweet until they were like already back home landed, right? So that earthquake was probably the bombs being dropped. And then, people didn't know about that the bombs were dropped until Trump said something. So that's probably what that was. Because it seems like, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. It could have been like a test that they were testing, but I feel like it was probably those bombs.
On this Sunday morning.
I mean, those were pretty big bombs, right?
Senator Wicker, he says, quote, our commander-in-chief has made a deliberate.
I also think America got the no nukes or standby. We will know the real picture soon.
Iranian regime. We now have very serious choices ahead to provide security for our citizens. And
the earthquake happened approximately 24 hours after the earthquake. It came from underground facility. Can you please look up the Iran earthquake on your stream?
President, that last word cut
Let me see if I can. I really need to plug in a different key. So guys, I got a racing wheel plugged in. right now
Congress and all sides of
to
the
my
aisle. We do so, transitioning to take you out to the nation's capital.
I got a
giving you
racing
live
wheel
at the
plugged
US
into my
Capitol
computer
on this
right now,
Sunday
so it's hard to
beautiful
type
event
on my
there
keyboard.
with the dark evening as the
Let me
Senate
look it up on my
ahead,
phone.
as we are giving you around the clock coverage. We are going to
I'm gonna look it up on my phone real quick.
commercial break. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, so they're going to a commercial break. Okay. And he is still on his break. So let me look this up real quick. Iran earthquake. Let's see what pops up. Earthquake of magnitude 5.1 hits Iran, sparks theories of nuclear testing. So maybe they were trying to test some kind of warhead. On Friday, June 20th, a powerful earthquake of 5.1 magnitude struck northern Iran's Semnan area. According to Tasnim news agency, the earthquake happened 27 kilometers southwest of Semnan. The quake struck at a depth of 10 kilometers. On Friday, June, a powerful earthquake magnitude struck. Okay. However, the earthquake has now triggered a wave of speculation about whether Tehran has tested a nuclear weapon. It has also sparked concern because it struck near a city with space and missile complex. The Semnan Space Center and the Semnan Missile Complex run by Iran's military are said to be located there. The earthquake came amid the ongoing conflict between Israel and Iran as they entered the 9th day of the escalating war. Iran and Israel exchanged fresh attacks early on Saturday, a day after Tehran said it would not negotiate over its nuclear program while under threat, and Europe tried to keep peace talks alive. So Iran straight up said that they are not going to give up their nuclear program. And I think once Trump heard that, he was like, okay, well, we're going in then. Send in the bombers. Iran's new agency, IRNA, said that there were no casualties and only minimum damage. The conflict-ridden country is one of the most seismically active countries in the world because of its position along the Alpine Himalayan seismic belt where the Arabian and Eurasian tectonic plates converse. Iran typically receives 2001 earthquakes a year, of which 15 to 16 are magnitude 5 or higher. Between 2006 and 2015, the country experienced 96 earthquakes. Underground explosions during nuclear activities can trigger earthquakes by releasing tectonic stress near the blast. However, seismologists can distinguish between explosions and natural earthquakes by studying the seismic waves. Seismic data suggests that the earthquake was a natural event. So that's what. So supposedly it was a natural event. It seems kind of odd that happened though. So I don't know. It was near a nuclear complex. So it seems kind of coincidental, if you know what I mean. Let me turn the volume back on here.
Our family is okay, all the neighbors okay, and that's it. The only thing that I can say is that people need to go to the Mamad and to the Miklad because it's
If you're just popping in, guys, welcome to the stream. Glad you're here, glad you're watching. Consider sharing this video with a friend, tagging them on Facebook, Twitter. If you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. If you are a subscriber, you can leave a comment in the chat. If you got something to say, consider subscribing, become a subscriber, join the community. I also play a lot of video games here on the channel, so if politics aren't your thing, I also play video games. Kenzie Beat says, Trump's getting impeached for sure. I doubt that, Kenzie. I highly doubt that. They've been trying to impeach him. Every other day, they're like, we need to impeach him. I doubt he's getting impeached. I think there would literally be a civil war if Trump got impeached. It's 10:37 a.m. here. May you have a beautiful Sunday. Good day. Nobody should have nukes. Well, thank you for popping in, Artyom. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, man, but thank you for popping in and thank you for subscribing, man. Appreciate it. The Atlantic Ocean is about to get a whole lot bigger. Why build a nuclear facility on a fault line? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess you got to build it where you can find the space, I guess. It's different. We started a war without congressional approval. True. Spiritual influences make sure a nuke will never go off again. What war? Yeah, I mean, it was a, I guess, a preemptive strike. Does that count? Does that count? Of like, is that like an act of war? The third one pronouncing was good. Bye, guys. Well, thanks for popping in, man. Metal Man says, Kenzie, that's a lie. Russia offered a while ago to help Iran build nuclear power plants. Go figure they weren't interested. Let's vote on it. Oh, will Trump... I could ask the question, will Trump get impeached? I could ask that. Okay, let me see it. 35 people have voted so far. Okay, so we're going to end that poll. And I'm going to ask you guys, will Trump get impeached? Or should Trump be impeached? Should Trump, is that how I should phrase it? Should Trump be impeached? We'll just ask. We'll keep it simple. We'll keep it simple, right? Boom. We'll start that up there. There's no law stating that a president has to consult Congress. I mean, he's the commander-in-chief of the military, right? So does he have to ask permission to do anything with the military when he's literally in charge of the military? That doesn't really make a lot of sense if he has to, like, you know? That would be like a soldier on the front line having to be like, can I shoot? Like getting shot at, and he's like, can I shoot this bullet? How about this bullet? Can I shoot this bullet? Can I shoot? How about this bullet? Can I shoot this bullet? Can I pull the trigger this time? This time? This time? And he's like getting shot at. I mean, that's the equivalent, right? I mean, he's the commander in chief. He's the, you know, he shouldn't have to, I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's kind of his job. It's kind of what he got elected for. We are in World War III. Are they fighting over frequency waves? To declare war, he does. Did we declare war? We didn't declare war. Like, he wasn't like, we declare war. He said, do this, or we're going to do this. They didn't do that, so we followed through, right? If AOC doesn't know the rules, she should quit her job. I don't think AOC knows much. Trump has something to fight for, not just his pride. What America needs, whether you like him or not, you need to be taught not to have dementia. The Moab, also known as the GBU-43B massive ordnance air blast, is a very powerful non-nuclear weapon. However, it did not produce a shockwave large enough to register on the Richter scale. Okay, so then yeah, I was thinking maybe it was the bombs that were dropped that caused the earthquake, but they were saying it happened before that. So it could have been nuclear testing from Iran itself, or it could have just been a coincidence and an earthquake, because a lot of earthquakes happen in that area, because I guess they're like sitting on top of two plates. It just seems kind of coincidental. But I doubt they're going to be having any more nuclear tests anytime soon. Kenzie Beat says, okay, so as long as it's military action and limited action, then he can do that. Possibly. Valenti, how you doing? Welcome back, Valenti. Dang, we got 47 likes so far. Thank you for hitting that thumbs up button, guys. Appreciate it. If you hit the join button and became a member on the channel, thank you as well. And if you hit the subscribe button, appreciate you as well. And if you're just tuning in, you guys rock. even if you're just tuning in. It all helps out. Dang, we got almost 16,000 views. Last time I looked, we had like 10,000. Now we almost have like 6,000 more. That was like 20 minutes ago. Life of Riley says, still no matter what you talk about, a lot of innocent people and children being killed while some politicians laugh and make calls. Kenzie says, but to declare war against a country, you need congressional approval. That's why I asked, why are people talking about a war? Because he has to go through Congress to declare war. Iran has politicians too. Don't forget that. They lie like all of them. Don't take it personal, just politics. I mean, Iran could have been like, okay, we want peace. We want to be friends with you guys. We want you to take the sanctions off. We want to play ball. We'll come to the table. We'll get rid of our nuke program. If you can like give us some assurance that these things won't happen or whatever. And they, wasn't in the cards. So Trump did what he thought was best. People need to read up on the presidential powers when it comes to limited engagement. But presidents from both parties have often ignored or challenged the war powers resolution, saying it's an unconstitutional limit on executive power. Let's see. The U.S. president has significant powers outlined in Article 2 of the Constitution, which include both expressed and implied powers. Key powers include the ability to sign or veto legislation, command the armed forces as commander-in-chief, make treaties with Senate approval, appoint officials with Senate confirmation, grant pardons, and issue executive orders. Key presidential powers. Commander-in-chief. The president leads the U.S. military and can deploy troops through Congress. Deploy troops, though Congress retains the power to declare war. Treaty power. The president can negotiate treaties with foreign governments, but these require a 2/3 vote of approval from the Senate to be ratified. Veto power. The president can reject legislation passed by Congress, but Congress can override a veto with a 2/3 party of both houses. Appointments, pardons, executive orders. This includes power to convene or adjourn Congress, receive ambassadors, and require written opinions from the heads of Yeah. China just lost its largest petroleum supplier and military ally that doesn't have much of a military at this point. Russia is tied up. China will hold off on Taiwan. Two beautiful flags side by side. How you doing, Whipster? Welcome back, Whipster. Teresa says he didn't have to go through Congress. He didn't have to go through Congress because it's not a war. Yeah, he didn't declare war. I mean, if things escalate, then maybe he'd have to go through Congress then, depending on like how far he wants to escalate things. But yeah. Iran says anything about sleepers or something? Oh, sleeper agents or whatever. I don't know. Is Iran said anything? Kenzie Beat says attacks on Israel, U.S. bases, oil infrastructures, and Saudi Arabia, etc. Watching the deployments unfold, one can't help but ponder the ultimate end game in this escalating Iran-Israel conflict. Are we witnessing a calculated de-escalation? I read that comment. All this bombing is to reduce population. They still sit around the same table. Or the prelude to a wider regional flagration, then man, I need to make these comments bigger. Is there a way I can zoom in? Is there a zoom? Wait, we got 50 likes on this video. Thank you for the likes, guys. Appreciate it. We had open borders for a hot moment, so it wouldn't be surprised if we got a sleeper. Yeah. I mean, we let in like 20 million people. I'm assuming some of those people maybe aren't the biggest fans of America, and they're only here because they want to maybe do damage to us. The vast majority of those people probably not, but I'm sure there's a handful of them that aren't, really on America's side. Metal Man, there's not been many mentions directly by Iran. Islamic jihadists have come across the border during the Biden regime and before. Iran is getting the smoke because the world wants regime change. I can't comment on anything without my messages disappearing. You got to pick your words carefully, man, because YouTube does flag certain words, I think. Why is Iran still attacking Israel after the U.S. bombing? Maybe to show that they're not weak or whatever. I mean, if their leader doesn't do anything, it makes him look weak, right? And if he looks weak, it just makes their government possibly want to overthrow him even more, right? So he's got to look like he's not weak. All your hotels and army barracks hold sleepers, fighting age males. I don't know. Whipster. I'm not sure. Haven't seen any reports of them striking any U.S. bases. Yeah, I feel like we would definitely hear about that. I feel like we definitely hear about that. Let's see if Fox is back.
Or Israeli interests around the world, such as embassies. The U.S. has a number of military assets staged throughout the Middle East. We have them in Bahrain. We have them.
Actually, let me look this up. Let me see if Iran has Iran made any statements following Trump's approval to bomb facilities. Iran warns U.S. strikes will have everlasting consequences as Trump says nuclear sites obliterated. Okay, Iran's response. Iranian officials are downplaying the impact of the strikes, with one lawmaker saying they were superficial and did not seriously damage Fordow, the complex. Iranian leaders have warned the attack will have everlasting consequences and requested an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council. There has not yet been an official response from Supreme Leader Kalamani. Hostilities escalate. The Israel-Iran conflict has entered its second week, with both sides still trading strikes after the U.S. strikes Israel military Iran field fired a fresh wave of missiles toward the country. So I guess all that's been said is, the attacks were superficial, didn't do a whole lot of damage, according to them. I think they're lying out their butts. But they said it will have everlasting consequences. So, yeah, everlasting. But the leader, he hasn't came out and said anything. Assuming he's still alive. I mean, I'm assuming he's alive unless he got, taken out when the bombs dropped. I don't think so. Or maybe somebody tried to overthrow him within his own government and they're trying to find a replacement. Or maybe he just hasn't figured out what he wants to say yet. We really don't know. But I guess we haven't heard from him yet, as far as I know anyway. Zam says, will there be nuclear fallout if uranium spills out of the American attacks, and who will be held responsible? I think they said that no that there wasn't like any leakage of anything. I don't know. Maybe they're lying. Iran could have just said they stopped, but no, they refused to even do that. It was almost a dare at that point. Yeah. This was pre-planned many months ago. I'm fairly certain the U.S. had intel on something a lot bigger and Iran was threatening something catastrophic. I mean, possibly. Possibly. Smash that like button, guys. Can we get 100 likes on this video? Let's check in on the question I asked. 29 votes on the poll in the chat, guys. If you haven't voted on that poll, vote on that poll. I asked everybody in the chat, should Trump be impeached? 37% say yes, and 65% say no. That's out of 31 votes. So if you haven't voted, vote on that. Do you think Trump should be impeached? I don't think he should be impeached, but that's just me. And this video has had over 17,000 views, guys. Dang. Dang. Sam says definitely there will be nuclear leakage with such a big attack. If not, what was the use of attacks and what were the benefits? I don't know. Hey, we got another like. Thank you for the like. Again, quick shout out, guys. Shout out to these lovely people here. Sandra Logue, Brian Griffin, Thunder Ducky, King Gubby's Lair, Little Bean Man, Jeebus, and Adzaloni, as well as I had one other person. I keep forgetting their name, but shout out to those people. Thank you guys again for clicking on the link in the chat, becoming members on the channel. You guys get cool green names, emojis, cool perks when I'm playing Fortnite and stuff. You guys get to play along with me. Stuff like that. So thank you guys again for clicking on the join button. You guys rock. Dirt says, Zam, there would be a leakage already, right? So no fallout. I think they said there wasn't any leakage. I think that's what they said. Obviously. Why would, if there was, would they say it though? Because wouldn't that cause panic? I don't think they'd say it even if there was, right? As long as they don't release coronavirus using sleeper cells, I don't want to have a toilet paper shortage again. Yep. Yeah, a toilet paper shortage again. That's why whenever somebody makes a donation, whenever somebody sends a super chat, it says, thanks for the super chat. Now I can buy more toilet paper. I made that little voiceover during COVID because like toilet paper was expensive and like it was hard to come by. So that's why it says, now I can buy more toilet paper whenever somebody donates. It's kind of a backstory why that is. And I just never changed it. So I just never changed it. But it does say that if somebody donates, it will say that. I think it's pretty funny. I don't know. But now you guys know why it says that. If anybody does happen to send a super chat, it'll say that. Zam says, will Trump increase taxes on Americans to fund war against Iran if no peace agreement is achieved soon? I don't know. I mean, Israel's kind of kicking Iran's butt right now, right? And other than the fact that we bombed their facilities, the U.S. hasn't really gotten involved. So if they can't even, stand up against Israel, really, if America gets involved, like it's gonna, you'd think it would end pretty quick. But they thought that going into Iraq too, right? So maybe it doesn't end so quick. But who knows? Jay Ray says Russia and China receiving their oil from Iran may retaliate against U.S. and the previous regime that was in control over U.S. borders allows many sleeper cells inside America. Yeah, Biden definitely let a lot of people in. I'm sure some of those people could have possibly been sleeper cells. A lot of military-aged men came across the border. Iran would ride the leakage, saying, "Look what the attacks did on us." Excuse me. Oh, that could be. I guess they could try to spin it that way. Oh man, the stupidity of people of buying toilet paper in the time of crisis. It's dumb. The past year's international port strike caused one toilet paper is a domestically made product. Yeah, people just kind of panic. Watching the stream on my phone, can't click on the link. Oh, you can't click links in the chat? There's a join button somewhere, guys. If you're watching on your phone, it's either underneath the video or maybe there's like 3 buttons in the top of the screen. Like there's like 3 little dots. I think if you click on those dots, it comes up with some more options and there might be a join button down there. I thought it might let you guys click on the link in the chat, but I wasn't sure. But that's a link to the member sign up thing. But yeah. And then there's the super chat button too, which is I think like the little dollar sign in the chat or something. But Trump didn't start Iraq conflict. Yeah, Trump said we should have never got involved in Iraq. That's what Trump said, even before he was president. Hey, Miss Nightmare, how's it going? Did you change your profile picture again? Or is that the same profile picture? You have sunglasses on in this one? I don't know. Welcome to the stream, Miss Nightmare. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Almost 18,000 views on this video, guys. Also, shout out to Miss Nightmare. She sent a super chat the other day. Appreciate it, Miss Nightmare. Thank you again. 3 dots in the top left corner of the screen, like a subscribe. Yeah. J Ray, yes. There's 3 top somewhere up here. 3 dots up there or something. I don't know. Somewhere up there. And thank you, Miss Nightmare, for the super chat. Appreciate that. And J Ray, welcome to the stream, man. How you doing? Yes, I did change it. I'm doing okay. Could it be better, but it's fine. Well, I'm glad you're doing all right. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da. Okay, he's back. What is he saying right now? So this is a live feed from Israel. Missile. Like a missile hit another building. U.S. Just to recap, U.S. did bomb Iran, took out 3 of their nuclear facilities. According to Trump, everything went according to plan.
So,
we obliterated the facilities, and Trump said, "Do not retaliate against American bases or troops." That happened like what, 5 hours ago?
I just saw a report right now
4 hours ago? 5 hours ago? Something like that.
There was a missile.
Matt84 says, I have done some research on the effects of this attack. Nothing will happen. Even if Iran retaliates, which may happen, Russia and China will not invoke war with the USA.
Haifa right there.
Hopefully not.
I believe that's Haifa. I believe it's still Haifa. Right? So, this Haifa damage...
what is your opinion on American law what is your opinion on American law makes and president is like a puppet of Israel since Iraq war? Maybe previous presidents were a puppet, but I don't think Trump is anybody's puppet. Hi Metal, I'm doing okay, but it could be better. Okay, let's pop back over to Fox.
Trump has made a courageous decision to seek peace.
So Governor Bill Lee says President Trump has made a courageous decision to seek peace through strength, and I pray earnestly for the safety of our troops across the Middle East and for the sovereignty of Israel.
Through strength. He says his wife, along with himself, they pray earnestly for the safety.
If you're just joining us, guys, welcome to the stream. Glad you're here. Glad you're watching. If you want to leave a comment, hit the subscribe button. Stick around for more than a minute, and you can leave a comment down there.
This in on X this Sunday morning from Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett. She says, quote, "Here is yet another reminder that the Constitution is not optional.
Jasmine Crockett is a little crazy. Have you seen Jasmine? Have you seen her like videos? She's a little crazy. She's a little out there.
A strike, so you can see
Just my opinion. She a little crazy. I'm just saying.
Really in agreement with the president.
Metal Man says Russian arms are pretty depleted. China doesn't want to lose its largest economic bridge in the U.S. China and Russia combined couldn't topple America, period. In Iraq, we lost 4,500 American soldiers. If Iran war continues, how many Americans veterans will we lose? I mean, it's unfortunately, it's a domino effect, and we've hit the first domino. We'll see what happens. The ball's kind of in Iran's court right now. They can choose to retaliate and keep fighting and escalate things, or they can choose to go the opposite direction and possibly talk about, a ceasefire and peace. So it's kind of up to them right now. Donald Hill says, if you want to know why the attacks happened, simply Google what is China supplying Iran with military right now. Jay Ray says, in God we trust. I agree, man. Zam says we lose 0 because there is no war.
While others stand in solidarity.
Okay, so they're on a commercial break.
Actually, again, this video is...
That's a lot of rubble and wreckage and tree branches.
But I'm going to show you a video from Tel Aviv right now. Nes Ziona is south of Tel Aviv. Nes Ziona is about...
It almost looks like that truck is just doing that itself, because I don't see a driver in the driver's seat. I know it's not doing it itself, but that's what it kind of looks like.
It's about maybe 10
almost
miles,
19,000 views on this video,
like
guys.
8 miles south of Tel Aviv.
Dang. Dang.
Okay, so now what I want to show you is this Tel Aviv video of the damage there that I got. Let's see. Here's the video. I know it downloaded. Oh, here it is.
So who do we got in chat? We got Valentine, Metal Man, Miss Nightmare, Dirt, J Ray, Donald Hill, Zam Can. Who else is in the chat? If you're watching, guys, ooh, Amit84 is in the chat as well. J Ray.
Let me get rid of this.
I already said Metal T. If you're watching, guys, drop a comment.
Now I'm going to get this on the screen.
84 says China and Russia will not gamble their future over Iran. They may offer support, but there is no NATO-like agreements between these countries. There is no benefit of waging war with the U.S. over Iran. Yeah, I don't see really any benefits for those countries. Man, that's a big mess.
This is the worst I saw of any of them. Look at this.
Dang. That was all caused by one missile?
Again, this is earlier. This is a replay. This is not live, and it's from Tel Aviv.
One missile did all that? Or is that multiple missiles? That could have just been... that was probably just one missile. That's a lot of damage.
I'll replay that first part again. So, again, this is all
I need to zoom the freak in, guys. How do I zoom into my chat? Oh, zoom in. Did that actually zoom in? Let me see. Can I feel like that didn't do anything. I don't think it did anything. Okay, that kind of zoomed in. Kind of.
Let me just skip ahead.
What a mess.
Like right here, yeah. So, yeah, it's just on a loop. So I'm going to play this first part again. But clearly, I mean, this whole building, like the side was taken off.
Donald Hill says there are reports that Iran has ordered materials from China that could be used to produce a significant number of ballistic missiles. Huh.
So maybe people all got to
Also,
the
Adam,
same places and they were
Adam, in November of this year, my family and I are planning on moving out of Wyoming. Oh, nice. Where are you guys moving to?
Look at that.
Donald says China has been selling drone engines, GPS guidance modules for ballistic missiles, and electronics to Iran and the Houthis. Should we just sit and wait to find out what Iran is capable of after boasting about its nuclear program for decades? Yeah, so, I agree, Metal Man. Donald says there are reports that Iran has ordered. No, I read that comment.
Sorry.
I thought I should share that with y'all, you lovely people. Also, I read that comment. So you're moving out of Wyoming. Do you know where you're moving to yet, or you haven't decided?
Hold on.
We're thinking about Alabama, but the upper part I don't really know that. Oh, Alabama, huh? Sweet home Alabama. I've never been to Alabama.
Hold on, let me see if he was speaking. He might have been speaking English. Let me see. I'll check.
Tharson says, "Wow, that didn't take long for the world to collapse into total chaos." How you doing, Tharson?
Yes. We have some live. This says live, but I just rewound it like 30 seconds so we could hear this interview with this guy. Okay, so let's play the interview with the guy here.
And J Ray, thanks for popping in, man. Going for a bike ride. Nice. Enjoy your bike ride, J Ray. I need to go on a bike ride. This is loud. What's that? What's he saying? Oh, he's not speaking English, so I don't know what he's saying. Oh no. I think he is speaking English. Okay, what about Fox? Fox, what are you doing? Is Fox on another commercial break? Okay, so there's a live feed from the White House. Flag just blowing in the breeze. They're on another commercial break? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Okay, let me see. Are there any other feeds? Let's go back to YouTube. Hey, Thunder Ducky's live. Let's see here. That's tomorrow's press briefing. Let's see here. That was one out. What is this?
Louise Just joining us live in the studio. Rachel, you have been talking to experts throughout the evening about the potential implications.
This is from ABC 15 Arizona.
Yeah, Jane, this is a situation anyone who has had their eye on the Middle East knew could happen. Many hoped it wouldn't because it's unclear exactly what will happen next. And tonight, the people I spoke with who have spent decades of their lives focusing on these.
How you doing, Teresa? He said 7 wounded.
This is a crucial moment. Two experts in the Middle East that we spoke with tonight expressed alarm at this decision by the Trump administration to involve itself in another war in the region. Pardis Mahdavi is from Iran and has family and friends still in the.
Donald says, now imagine Iran having 3,000 of those missiles. Israel was not going to let that happen at all. Yeah, if one missile could do that much damage, and they had like 3,000, and they were like trying to get a nuclear weapon, like if they can do that much damage with one missile, like just multiply that by like what, 1,000 or something. If you guys are still watching it, post a comment. We almost have 20,000 views on this video, guys. And we get 100 likes on this video. I don't know how many likes we have currently. Let me check the let me check what the poll is saying right now. I asked you guys, should Trump be impeached? 54% of you have voted. 38% say yes, Trump should be impeached, and 62% say no, Trump should not. That's out of 55 votes. What else should I ask the community? Let me know in the comments section. I'm retired U.S. Air Force 18B Special Weapons Sergeant. I was attached to the 10th Special Forces Group in Germany. You have a great night, everyone. God bless. Well, thank you, Donald, again for your service, man. Appreciate it, and I hope you have a fantastic night as well. Thanks for popping in again. Should the 37 be deported? And yeah, thank you for your service, Donald. Larson says, 1953, the U.S. and UK orchestrated a coup that overthrew Iran's democratically elected Prime Minister Mohammad Masandi. I don't think that's how you pronounce that. And restored the Shia to power. This event is a major source of resentment. Matt84 says Netanyahu actions were not justified, albeit a possible outcome. It seemed a little trigger happy. He seemed a little trigger happy, as saying goes, violence breeds violence. I think we are seeing that quote in action. Who struck first on 10/7? On October 7th? I believe, I know it wasn't Israel, that's for sure. If you're just joining the stream, guys, welcome. If you have no idea what's going on, then you're probably living under a rock, because it's literally all over the internet. It's all over Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. But basically, the U.S. ended up going into Iran with bombers, and we took out 3 of their nuclear facilities, leveled them to the ground, according to Trump, obliterated them, and they are no longer a problem. The mission went according to plan, was executed perfectly. You know how Trump likes to brag. And yeah, there's going to be more information about it tomorrow morning, when Pete Hegseth, I guess, does a little press conference. But Trump basically said if they retaliate on any of our troops or bases, then they're going to get hit even harder than we just hit them. I don't think they've retaliated against us. They have launched more missiles against Israel, but they haven't attacked any military bases currently that I'm aware of. We're just kind of bouncing around different live streams at the moment, seeing what's been going on. We've been watching Agenda Free TV, this streamer right here. He's kind of watching the live feed from Israel. A couple of the missiles Iran launched did have some hits, and this is kind of the aftermath of those hits. Very big mess. That's going to take a while to clean up. And we just passed 20,000 views. Guys, you guys rock.
And where is this other video from?
20,000 views. And we have 53 thumbs up. Thank you for the likes, guys. 53 likes. That's awesome.
If we're going to continue to see more Iranian missile attacks.
Hamas was funded and supported by Iran, just like the Houthis and Hezbollah.
There's been no...
Valenti says, gotta step out, enjoy the stream. You all have a good night. Well, thank you, Valenti, for popping in. Appreciate you.
How is Iran going to respond to the U.S.?
Tharson says, 1979 to 1981, the Iran hostage crisis, where 52 Americans were held captive for 444 days, further deteriorated relations. That's a long time. 444 days? Dang.
And Fordo were the two
Dang.
uranium.
That is a long time.
And Fordo was the most important. So, but those are all 3 key nuclear facilities.
And again, I want to give a quick shout out to all of these wonderful people you see on the screen right here. Sandra Logan, or Sandra Logue, Brian Griffin, Thunder Ducky, King Gubby's Lair, Little Bean Man, Jeebus, and Adzalone. Thunder Ducky's actually live streaming right now. He's playing some video games over on his channel. But guys, thank you again for becoming members on the channel. Appreciate it. If anybody watching wants to become a member, you can hit the little link in the chat. But if you can't afford it, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But shout out to those guys. Appreciate you.
Probably about 13 and a half hours, so we'll power
1980 to 1988, the Iran-Iraq War saw the U.S. supporting Iran, further fueling tension. Thank you for coming by, Valenti. Hope to see you again, for sure, for sure.
Faisal Asif Sheikh, thank you. Goran Elder, thank you. Pudwa, switch the channel. Hold on a second. Switch the channel is getting timed out because they can't behave themselves. So that's what happens.
So let's see. I want to check. Twitter and see if anything is popping up on Twitter. Let's see if anything's popping up on Twitter. Let me see here. Just seeing what's new. Trump said, this was a couple hours ago, but Trump posted on Twitter, any retaliation by Iran against the United States of America will be met with force far greater than what you witnessed tonight. So basically, he's saying, don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to regret it. Do not do it. Do not attack us. And then Pete Hegseth reposted that. Let's see here. Just more posts about what already happened. Excuse me. Oh, and you know what? I'm going to turn the chat back on to public chat. So now anybody can leave a comment. So if you're watching and you got something to say, drop a comment down below.
With the awesome and righteous might of the United States, will change history. In Operation Rising Lion, Israel has done truly amazing things. But in tonight's action against Iran's nuclear facilities, America has been truly unsurpassed. It has done what no other country on earth could do. History will record that
this didn't need to happen. I feel that talks could have changed outcome. I'm not saying this was not inevitable, but the option for avoidance was avoided. Well, they tried to talk. I mean, we tried to talk to them multiple times. And they still said they're not giving up their program. And I feel like their nuclear program. And I feel like no matter how many times we talked to them or asked them, they were still not going to do it.
First comes strength, then comes peace. And tonight, President Trump and the United States acted with a lot of strength. President Trump, I thank you. The people of Israel thank you. The forces of civilization thank you. God bless America. God bless Israel. And may God bless our unshakable alliance, our unbreakable.
So that is what Netanyahu said earlier today.
All right, so those the remarks in full from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and you heard him say, quote, President Donald Trump acted with strength. Again, giving you a live look out in Tel Aviv, Israel. We're also getting another shot from the Middle East, and here you can see Jerusalem and also Tel Aviv. And of course, we are keeping a close eye on this shot out in central Israel. This, as we know, Iran did retaliate from what the U.S.
Dirt says American leadership has been crap the past few decades. Kennedy was last decent president until Trump, to be honest. Trish says, right? Rather fight on my feet than die in a pink mist. Love Trump. How you doing, Trish?
Donald Trump's decision. I want to transition to get back.
Are there any MAGA supporters in the chat right now?
on this Sunday morning, asking you.
Yeah, if you're pro-Trump, post MAGA in chat. Just kind of curious how many of you are watching right now.
Say yes, it was a good idea, while 22% of you say no, it was
I'm on
not.
Twitter right now looking for updates.
QR code on your screen, or simply go to livenowfox.com/connect. Once you get to the
Fox News says at least 10 impacted sites in Israel after Iran launches more missiles.
Story right now, I want to bring into the conversation.
Teresa says MAGA. Trish says MAGA. Zam says MAGA. Miss Nightmare says MAGA. Lots of MAGAs in the chat, actually. That's interesting.
Okay, so we'll get to some of the Republican reaction in just a moment here. We do have more analysis, more context coming in, including from our friend there.
What else we got in here? Looking.
Joe, thanks for hopping on. I know it's extremely late where you are.
AOC calls for Trump's impeachment. What else is new?
Your initial reaction, you and I were talking earlier this week about the kind of...
Metal Man says MAGA as well.
To take place, it has now taken place here. What are you hearing?
Right, historic moment for sure. Nevertheless, it happened a little sooner than I thought it would, but it happened. But now, more than anything,
how is your night going, everybody? Is it nighttime where you guys live? What time is it where you guys live? It's 1:25 in the morning, my time.
How Iran will respond. I think we talked about this last.
What time is it where you're located?
Their proxies, their network of clients in the region, they've been mostly quiet since the Israel-Iran conflict started about 8-9 days ago now. So
12:25.
we need to see, or we need to observe, or I'm trying to find out.
Matt 84 says, I know the history. I also know enough to know that no matter who you talk to, everybody is right in their own way. Israel is right. Palestine is right. Iran is right. Doesn't matter. I mean, you have a point there.
There's a few of them in the region.
Bobby says 3:25. Dang, 3:25 a.m.
But still potent.
Miss Nightmare says 1:25. Teresa says 3:25.
But U.S. bases
2:25.
And of course, American allies in the region too.
Metal Man says then the millions that were sent by Obama and Biden regimes.
Yeah, and I think anyone saying they know it's going to happen does not know what's going to happen here. But
it's pretty late where you guys live.
Is that it, do you think? Or will there be more?
Trish Kendall says, no more wars. Wait, no one likes war. God bless our military and protect America. It is 1:22 where you live. 2:26 in Louisiana. Nice.
I've observed a lot of,
Bobby says, MAGA.
Messaging or reports actually that just say that show that the United States is moving a lot of assets into.
Okay, so I'm going to end this poll.
Into the region, all right?
I'm gonna ask in the chat here.
Assets that were moved by the United States into the region is not needed for the bombing that occurred tonight. I think what
are you
team? The United States is prepared for a response. All right, they want to have the assets.
Because why not?
In case they
are you team Trump? Yes or no?
Other countries, maybe Iraq,
that should get a lot of votes.
Iraqi militias.
I bet it's gonna be pretty split. Are you team Trump? Yes or no? You can vote on it in the chat, guys. Also, smash that like button if you haven't smashed it.
Militias, these groups, Iran and others, they have said they're going to respond if the U.S. intervened in the war, and the U.S. did. So now it's their turn.
Yeah, the kind of fundamental thinking after Israel took out Ismail Haniyeh, the leader of Hamas, in Tehran last summer, and kind of the blunt...
Zam says, guys, quick question. Will Israel and Jews again crucify Jesus in his second coming?
Many had characterized Iran as a paper tiger, that it's all bark, no bite.
Lafayette? Where's Lafayette? I'm in Lafayette.
The number of missiles they've launched into Israel has dwindled here. So is it safe to say that...
Dang, we passed 20,000 views, guys. That's crazy.
And offering the saber rattling from the White House that any retaliation by Iran will be met with this amount of force, if not stronger force, than what we just used. So is Iran in this now weakened...
Larson says, as a Canadian, I have a civic duty to say no to Trump. Tariffs are bish.
I think they are in a weakened state, for sure.
Never been to Canada. I heard it's beautiful there, though.
Did a lot of damage over the last 8-9 days against their military infrastructure. Of course,
30 miles from Gulf in central Louisiana. Oh, okay, cool.
I think we have seen the worst out of the Iranians, all right? This includes their proxies and clients. So I think the biggest problem, at least for the Israelis, for example, is the missile interceptors they've been using. They've had to use up over the last
A lot of Canadians in chat. Interesting.
Let's say Iran decides with their remaining missile launchers, they decide to begin launching barrages against Israel that lasts days and days and days. The Israelis will eventually lose interceptors. Will run out of interceptors, and that's a big problem. What if?
Okay, let me go back to this guy. Yep, that was all from one missile. Maybe that's multiple missiles. I don't know. But I think it's probably one missile. Okay, so I asked the question, are you Team Trump? Wait, I didn't even put, are you Team Trump? I just put our Team Trump. I thought I put you. Did I not put you? Well, 10 people have voted. 78 say yes, they are Team Trump. 20% say no. You guys knew what I was trying to say. I don't know why I didn't put you in there. Maybe it's just because I'm tired. Maybe I literally just forgot to put it. Our Team Trump? Yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot a word. You wish trade was freer? Sam says, we may not know. I have heard history repeats itself. Our Team Trump. I should put that on a t-shirt. Our Team Trump. That's funny. That's funny. I should start a merch store. Our Team Trump.
The Houthis specifically.
You make shirts as a hobby?
Are supported by.
Like you make your own designs and stuff?
Iran.
You need to put a kind of poll in the poll so I don't have to pick yes. Oh, a kinda? Yasette, how you doing, Yasette? Okay, let me change up the poll real quick. Let me fix this. Are you Team There. How about that? Are you Team Trump? Yes, no, kinda. Yes, no, kinda.
The proxies bombs falling on the people of Israel if Netanyahu had not dropped bombs on the people of Iran first, she says. Israel is a nuclear-armed nation. This is not our fight. Peace is the...
Oh, you make rugs for a hobby. Nice.
Join together and pray for the safety of our U.S. troops.
Middleman says I buy tons of shirts with funny stuff on them. I need to make some merch, guys. I need to make like a merch store with all the crazy stuff I say. Just put on a t-shirt.
For the past 4 years, and over 2 million gotaways came in. She says, let us pray for peace.
Oh, cool, Adam. Do you mind if he shares a link so I can check his shop out? I don't know if it lets, if it allows links in the chat.
Like Thomas Massey, who called this unconstitutional on X, who also signed on to an effort on the House side.
Dirt says, I don't agree with
Also
everything Trump
authorized
says or
these drugs via
does.
congressional
If you
authorization
guys
on the
haven't
House floor.
already, consider following me on
See if
Twitter.
that effort gains any traction.
You can
Majority
tag me
Leader
on
John
stuff
Thune in the
on
Senate says
Twitter.
this, "The regime in Iran,
It should
which
be
has
there should be a
committed
link
itself
in the
bringing
description to
death
that,
America
so you
and
could
wiping Israel
post
off
something
the
on
map,
Twitter.
has rejected all diplomatic pathways to peace. The mullah's misguided pursuit of nuclear weapons must be stopped. As we take action tonight to ensure a nuclear weapon remains out of reach for Iran,
Oh, excuse me.
stand with President Trump and pray for the American troops."
Zam says Trump always says something and does something else. That's the best thing about him. I know,
We
right?
also have House Speaker Mike
You never know what he's
He
doing.
says this, and this is a long statement, bear with me, that the military operations in Iran should serve as a clear reminder to our adversaries and allies that President Trump means what he says.
Means what he
He
says.
says the president gave Iran's leader every opportunity to make a deal.
I mean, it's true. He gave him every opportunity.
To a nuclear disarmament agreement. President Trump has been consistent and clear that a nuclear-armed Iran will not be tolerated. That posture has now been enforced with strength, precision, and clarity. He says the president's decisive action prevents the world's largest state sponsor of terrorism, which chants death to America, from obtaining the most lethal weapon on the planet. This is
Interesting.
America First policy in action.
Never
He
been to a
says,
bachelor
"God
party
bless our
before.
brave men and women in uniform, the most lethal fighting force on the planet, as we pray for their safe return home. May God bless America." Johnson goes on to say this, that the president made
Maybe one day.
call
Maybe one day I'll have a
what he
bachelor
needed
party.
to do.
Maybe.
Leaders in
Fingers
Congress
crossed.
were aware of the urgency of this situation, and the commander-in-chief evaluated that the imminent danger outweighed the time it would take for Congress to act. The world's largest state sponsor of terrorism, which chants death.
Got to get married for that first, though.
Simply
Working
couldn't
on
be
that.
allowed the opportunity to obtain and use nuclear weapons. The
He
president
made the
fully
shirt he wore
respects
that.
the Article 1 power of Congress, and tonight's necessary, limited, and targeted strike follows the history and tradition of similar military actions under presidents of both parties. So you see there, Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, let's go back to Capitol Hill. He's kind of trying to get ahead of this question on whether or not
Oh, good news, by the way, guys. My girl, she was feeling sick for a while. Had to skip work for a while, but she's feeling a lot better. So she's been working. She's been working a lot more. So she's back at work.
follows the history and tradition
So,
of similar military actions under presidents
So yeah, that's
of
good.
both parties.
That's
Okay,
good.
so
She
we'll
still
get
doesn't have her
to the
insurance
Republican
figured out,
approach.
but
So that was my colleague,
but she's back at work and she's feeling better.
detailed
So that's
interview
good.
with an expert, and of course we will continue.
This is my girl, my cutie patootie. But yeah, she's feeling a lot better, so that's good.
Continue to have these interviews throughout these early morning hours and throughout the day. And of course, we are looking ahead to the 8 o'clock hour this morning, where we will hear from Pete Hegseth and others at the Pentagon live this Sunday morning. I'm Jeanne Francine. We're going to step aside for another 2-minute commercial break. Don't go anywhere.
A 2-minute commercial break. All you do is take breaks, lady. Jeez Louise. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Okay, let's see. Let's hit the live button. They just like recapping let's see, live. This is gaming news. What is this? Nothing really there. That's what we were watching currently. ABC News, it says ABC News is live. Are they actually live? Maybe.
Thing to take it apart.
Nah, I don't think they're actually live. They lied to me.
I can replay it when we come on the air next time. I mean, I don't know that I'm going to specifically do that. 'Cause I'd probably
I
have to
hate
skip it.
allergies, guys.
But
Always makes my eyes
8
itch.
a.m. is in. It's like in 4.5 hours. I just am tired, so. You know, and there's going to be more to cover here. I'd love to just stay on
There we go.
nonstop, but I
Much
think it
better,
will be
much
fine.
better. If you guys are still watching,
Look, there's gonna be
post a
more to
comment,
cover.
hit the thumbs up
I
button.
don't know where this is all going.
We're almost at
We'll have to
60
see if
likes,
Iran
and vote on that poll we got going in the chat. 10 votes. Are you Team Trump? 60% say yes, 10% say no, and 30% say kinda.
Like not enriching uranium. So we don't know what's coming next. We don't know what's coming next. But I think sleeping now would be fine. Again, it's we just don't know. But I really appreciate everybody joining the stream. I did not know when we started streaming yesterday that this was going to happen. It just all of a sudden happened. There's all this interesting stuff to talk about with that too, but I can't do it right now. Anyways,
Fourth option, better than
subscribe
Biden.
and follow the channel if you.
So this he's ending his stream, so we're going to have to go back to
Deliverable nuclear
to
weapons.
Fox.
The negotiations Israel scuttled with their strikes held the potential for success.
What are your thoughts on the outcome of these strikes, let's say, in the next 3
We
months?
do have another lawmaker on your screen.
It's hard to say,
from
man. I don't know.
Wesley Hunt. Now, part of the bottom is cut off, but I will read the quote.
I feel like a lot of Democrats are going to want to try to impeach Trump, but they want if Trump sneezes, they try to impeach him, you know. Any opportunity they can get, they try to impeach Trump. So they're going to use it as just a way to get him out of office. Republicans, they're probably going to kind of be split still on getting involved.
He goes on to say, quote, I commend our commander-in-chief for
I don't know what Russia and China do.
to dismantle Iran's nuclear ambitions at the source.
I think they both maybe just come out with some strong-worded statement, but they don't actually do anything.
The United States will not tolerate threats to our national security or to global stability. He finalizes his statement by saying, quote,
But it's hard to say.
of our armed forces who carried out this operation with courage and excellence. Thank you. The nation stands in awe.
Mazzy says, did Iran attack the United States of America? Is Iran the reason no one can afford a house? Is Iran the reason there's fentanyl everywhere? Is Iran the reason for political corruption?
Iran is an enemy of America.
I don't think so.
Loving people around the world. We gave them
But doesn't mean we want Iran to have nukes.
away from their program, but there is simply no chance
Welcome back,
that we
Miss
can let
Nightmare.
Iran develop a nuclear weapon. He concludes by saying that the president of the United States made the right decision and the world is safer, end quote. So we will continue to follow the very latest. Another coming.
Metalman says, I have a feeling that this wouldn't have happened. That this would have happened eventually. Iran has been a constant threat and boasted about their nuclear program, daring people to stop them. Yeah,
For any threats to public safety. There are known
it was going to happen sooner or later.
Out of an abundance of caution, LAPD is stepping up their patrols near
And Trump probably knew it, so he's like, yo, they're in the weakest state that they've been in for a while, so we need to probably nip this in the bud while we have the chance.
Is LA, the city of angels, on high alert
Because we might not get another opportunity like this, and I think he took the opportunity, and here we are. So
remarks and videos
you'd have to take me out for dinner first, Larson. It depends on your age.
around Times Square. So we are
Also suffer from anxiety, so I smoke and it helps.
live now from Fox.
Yes, that says if they blew up the nuclear sites, doesn't the chemicals from nukes come out?
To get your
You'd think so.
Again, if you haven't voted, we're
But then,
asking Sunday, was it a good
but Iran's
idea
claiming that
as
those
the
sites
US
were
strikes
empty,
Iranian
and
nuclear facilities from
they already
President
moved the
Trump?
stuff out.
Again,
But I
at
don't know.
this time, 79% of you say yes, 21% of you say no. Let
I
us
think
know
you
what
nailed it.
think
I
by
think to
scanning
add that,
the
I would
QR
think that
code
it may
on
split the
your
MAGA
screen.
crowd.
I will leave it
Yeah.
on the screen for a few seconds to give you a chance to scan it if you have yet to do
I'm
so.
sure it kind of splits up the base a little bit. But as if things cool down, like things could just get more out of hand and intensify, obviously. But if things do calm down, fingers crossed, hopefully that happens. I think it'll bring people back together again, but it might get worse before it gets better.
Expert analysis. We continue
Unfortunately.
to dissect and answer your viewer questions as it relates to the conflict with the U.S. and Iran, keeping a close eye on the Middle East as well. As we go to break, I do want to share with you this live look again out in Tel Aviv here at 3:43 on the East Coast as we are following Iran retaliating against Israel in response.
If America's backs down, yes, things will calm down. The MAGA crowd is more diverse in issues than you think.
As that residential area was struck by Iran. We'll be right
I
back
think the MAGA crowd, they're willing to have like differences and disagreements. It doesn't have to be like all or nothing, you know. I think with Democrats and liberals, it's like you have to follow everything that they say, and if you get out of step once, it's like boom, you're out of the cool kids club, and they just turn on you. With MAGA, it's like people can have disagreements, people can like just talk, but with Democrats, it's like you say the wrong thing, you blink the wrong way, you out of the cool kids club, you out. You out. Kind of feels like a cult in my opinion, but Democrats say the same thing about Republicans, so I don't know. Iran's culture will not / cannot allow that to happen. USA will have to retaliate given their culture. Well, thanks for that, because I certainly don't feel old. 38's not that old, man. I'm 33. I'm sure that Iran knows if they attack us back, they're screwed. Yeah, especially now. Iran knows that like Trump will pull the trigger. Trump ain't scared to be dropping bombs. They know he's not bluffing now. Maybe they just thought, oh, he's just talking big. He's not actually going to do anything. He'd be crazy to do something. He's not going to send in bombers. He's not going to bomb us. This guy's just, he's trying to talk big. But I don't think they actually thought he was going to do it. But he did it. They probably thought, oh, he's just dragging his feet. He's giving us another 2 weeks. We can do whatever we want. He's not going to do anything. He'd be crazy to do it. And then he did it. So now they're like, oh, crap. Maybe we don't mess with this guy. Because he's not Biden. He's not Obama. He's not Kamala. Maybe we don't mess with Trump.
3:45 here on the East Coast. Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. Good morning to you. If you're just now tuning in, I'm Jeanne Francine. I've been here the past few hours continuing with this detailed breaking news following the very latest with the U.S. and Iran, also focusing in and honing in on the Middle East as Iran has retaliated against Israel in response to what the U.S. decided to do. Of course, we will continue to keep a close eye. My colleague Josh Breslow will soon take over hosting duties, continuing with expertise analysis and, of course,
expertise analysis.
Transition to take you back out live to the Middle East, giving you a live look at Jerusalem and also at Tel Aviv. I want to bring in Rob Sanders as an expert right now. We spoke with him moments ago. If you didn't get to hear it, I do want to play that for you in full. He's a retired U.S. Navy JAG Corps captain. Take a listen.
So what is this guy saying?
So, Rob, I want to transition. You know, we spoke with Ken Gray, one of your colleagues, to try to understand.
So this is a retired U.S. Navy Corps captain.
What led up to this point? But right now, a lot of the viewers have military questions. With your military background, they want to know, how was this operation performed? Would you say this operation was performed successfully by the U.S.? Break all of those entities down, please.
Well, the first thing is we don't have any battle damage assessment. So the president said it was successful, but we don't have anything that we can look at to say it was successful. Now, there's satellites who are in synchronous orbit.
I feel like we're going to find out a lot more tomorrow morning, because the reporters, they're going to be asking Hegseth a crap ton of questions.
Where we may have hit. We also have the ability to send out predator drones and other things like YouTube spy planes to look at these locations and see what the damage is. So that'll tell us whether this was successful. The other part of your question, Well, you know, we want to make sure.
And real quick, before I forget, you guys know that this is also a gaming channel, and I love to check out the sales that are going on Steam. So we're going to open up Steam real quick, and we're going to see what's on sale. We're going to check what's on sale because that's one of my favorite things to do. You know, the world might be falling apart at the seams right now, but that doesn't mean we can't have fun playing video games, right? Right? So we're going to check out and see what's on sale. Yes, that says, knowing Hexeth, he's either going to ignore the question or answer them. Plus, Hexeth should have a meet at 8 a.m. their time. Yeah, he's supposed to have a meeting. Yeah. Tomorrow morning. Hey, Battlefront 2's on sale. Borderlands is for sale. Okay, what else we got here? I'm going to look for specials. Star Wars is on sale. Grand Theft Auto. Kingdom of Hearts. Mortal Kombat 1. I just got 2 new games, by the way, guys. I got Thief Simulator. And yeah, I got Mortal Shell, which is like a Dark Souls kind of game. It's kind of like a Souls-like. And then I got Thief Simulator as well. So I can be doing some peaceful protesting, right? Just robbing people. Right? Where's Apex these days? Is it dead? I haven't played Apex since it first came out. I know it still has a following, but yeah, I have not played Apex. I'm in a long time. I wonder if they'll record the meeting and show it later in the day. Yeah, I'm sure they'll record it. Like it's gonna be on, you know, every news network. I've been a Diablo 4 fan for weeks now. I haven't played Diablo 4. I have like the Diablo Resurrected collection or something. I think it's Diablo 1, 2, and 3. I have that on my Nintendo Switch, but I haven't really played that much of it. I started getting into Rage. And I've been hooked on American Truck Simulator too. Like I've been having a lot of fun with American Truck Simulator. Normally that's what they do to record it, and they show it like 50 times a day for 18 weeks straight. Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah, these are all my games. I got a lot of them. American Truck Simulator, that's the one I've been most hooked on lately. And then, yeah, I just got Mortal Shell and Thief Simulator, which I haven't tried either one of these yet, but I did install them. I should start playing Fallout just to get ready for if, you know, the real nukes drop, just to be prepped for it. Like, bro, I don't need to see it every day. Yeah. They just play it on repeat. They just play everything on repeat. You gonna change your profile picture again? I think Rage will be a lot easier now that I got my controller plugged back in. I had to unplug, I don't remember what I unplugged, but I had to unplug it. But now my controller's plugged in, so hopefully I'll be a little bit better at it. Because I could not figure out how to use the weapons in that game on the, when I was driving in my car. And yeah, I do have Schedule 1. I need to jump back into that because they've come out with some updates. But I really like Schedule 1. I just haven't played it in a while, but yeah, I do have it. Oh, let's check, let me check the poll real quick. Actually, wait. Let's check this. Let me check the poll. 16 people have voted. Are you Team Trump? 56% say yes, 25% say no, and 19% say kinda. If you haven't voted on that poll yet, guys, vote on that poll. just for funsies. So what have these guys made? Ninja Gaiden. Dynasty Warriors. Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive 6. Fatal Frame. Never played the Fatal Frame games. Okay. Stellar Blade looks pretty cool, but I don't want to spend $60 on it. Kind of expensive. Da, 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 da. Suit for Hire. I don't know what that is. Thought about getting Lawnmower Simulator. I also want to get Car Dealership Simulator, but it's a little pricey still. Can I search by... I'm going to search by specials, and I want to search by simulator. Simulation. What's on sale for simulation? Fast Food Simulator. Crime Simulator. That's, I think, the same people who made Thief Simulator made this. So I just got Thief Simulator, so I'll probably stick with that. But yeah, the sim games, they're really fun. Bungie is screwed. I haven't played, but I watched a couple streams. What games do I usually play? I play a lot of Fortnite. I play a lot of Truck Simulator lately. I like playing Fortnite because I can kind of play with my subscribers. A lot of RPGs, racing games. Pretty much anything and everything, for the most part. The simulator games are pretty fun. I got hooked on Supermarket Simulator for a long time. That game is really fun. Yeah, there's Supermarket Simulator right there. I got Car Mechanic Simulator. I haven't tried it yet, though. Crime Scene Simulator. Cleaner. Oh, yeah, that's another one I wanted to get. Crime Simulation, exact same thing, but it's multiplayer. Oh, it's multiplayer. Okay. Yeah, I thought about getting the Crime Simulator, but it's basically the same thing, it's just multiplayer. Okay, so I'll probably hold off on getting that then, since I did just get Thief Simulator. What else is here? What else? That game looked kind of fun. Dinkum. I need to start playing Fallout. Drug Dealer Simulator. System Shock 2 looks kind of fun, but a little bit pricey. I like to stay in like the $5 to $10 range, you know? Yset says, which I don't understand why they made it separate game and not a game update, but I mean, probably just because they wanted more money, right? If you come out with the new game, it's easier to get to the top of the list rather than update like a game that's years old. It doesn't get as much traction. Star Citizen, I have it. I have issues running it on my computer sometimes. I have played it, but I do have issues running it. Yeah. One of the viewers that popped in, he gifted me a Cutlass Black, which is like $150 ship. Like to buy that package from the store with the real game money, it's like $150, and he just gifted it to me. So that was nice of him, but I haven't jumped into Star Citizen in a while, just because like every time I do it, it just I've been having issues even installing it again. I don't know why. But a guy I know, he's a YouTuber. He does like a lot of Star Citizen stuff. He has like I think 50,000 subscribers or something. He's really big into Star Citizen, but yeah. Also, No Man's Sky is pretty fun. I also have Game Pass. I haven't downloaded too many games on Game Pass lately. I tried out a little bit of the Oblivion remaster. I had to lower some of the settings on my computer, though. And there's Thief Simulator 2. Storage Hunter Simulator kind of looks fun. You got Ultimate Fishing. I don't know. The simulator games just are kind of goofy and fun. Yeah, I got Thief Simulator 1 for $2. $2. I like the Need for Speed games too. Those are pretty good. Yes, try Summer Car or Beaming Drive. I know a guy who bought one of those $1,000 ships. Yeah, it's crazy how much those cost. Like, people actually pay real money to buy those ships in Star Citizen. I'm like, bro, that's crazy. Like $1,000, that's literally an entire paycheck for me to buy a fake like a fake thing in a game. I mean, if you got the money, I guess, but most of my money goes to food and medical bills for my girlfriend, because she's been having some issues. That's where most of my money goes. Most of my YouTube money too. But it'd be nice to have the luxury to pay for a $1,000 spaceship in a video game. A $1,000. I mean, and there's ships that cost even more than that. Like, there's some like $10,000 ships, aren't there? 10 grand and above. Excuse me. So what kind of games are you guys into? My card company would be like, what the hell is that? $1,000 for a game company? Why? You have a card company? You said? Like, do you work? Is it like your own business type thing, or Need for Speed? 10K IRL money just for a ship sounds illegal. Yeah. I mean, Star Citizen, it kind of seems like a scam to me, but because it's still like in alpha or beta or something. Like, it's not even close to being finished, and they've got like $300 million worth of donations or whatever, and it's still not even on the 1.0 update. I feel like they're never going to finish it, because if they finish it, they stop getting money. Tank Mechanic Simulator. Dirt says, I like that Missy games. There is more love, and mainstream games feel forced and incomplete. Yeah, I like the indie games. I think indie games are a lot more fun. AAA games kind of all feel the same. They're just like remakes. Like On Rails Experience, they just always play it safe. It's probably a scam. I wouldn't bother spending 10K or 50K for a damn game and a ship. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't spend them. And same with like Fortnite skins. A lot of people pay for like cosmetics in video games, just Fortnite skins, because they want to look cool. It gives you no benefit. They just want to look cool. You know? I'm like, I mean, I have different Fortnite skins, but I unlock them all for free. I never, or like subscribers just gifted them to me. I would never pay for it. I'm like, I don't give a crap. Shut Up and Dance Special Edition, hot diggity. Nah. By the way, no one's talking about Chase. They would probably deactivate my card after seeing it's from a game company. Yeah. A liquor store simulator. I thought about getting Lawnmower Simulator. I think it's still on sale. But yeah, I've been hooked on American Truck Driver Simulator. I have like 3 employees and they're always slacking off. Always slacking off. Harvest together. Excuse me. But there is a game called Supermarket Simulator Together. I think there's a free one and you can play online with, I think, like with up to 4 people or something. It's free to play. You do your own little simulator. I have House Flipper 1, I think. Let me check. I think I have House Flipper, the first one. I'm pretty sure I bought it. It was on sale. Yeah, I got the first one. I haven't played it yet. But I got the first one. I think that would be kind of fun to play during the stream. It was like $2 at one point, and I bought it when it was on sale. Got very positive reviews. Yeah, they have a second one. Yeah, I figured I'd try playing the first one before I played the second one. I kind of like try to play them in order. Because like if you play the newest version and then you try to go back and play an older version, you know, it feels, obviously it feels like a downgrade, usually. So I always try to play the older ones first. So, you know, I can kind of enjoy them more. Because I feel like if you go backward, like mechanics that are in the newer ones, you just want them to be there. And, you know, it just kind of becomes frustrating. So I try to play them in order just because I can kind of see like the progression. You play Mind's Eye? I have not. I think Thunder Ducky, one of my subscribers, I think he's played it. But I haven't played it. I have not played it yet. If you guys are just popping in, welcome to the stream. Let me just check and see if there's any breaking news at the moment. We're watching that. Yeah, Thunder Ducky, he's playing Mind's Eye right now. He's one of my subscribers. He's playing that right now. I think it's on Game Pass, so I could probably get it. But I just haven't really had the time lately. I'm waiting for this YouTuber to finish his series. Oh, nice. It seems like IRL truck driver instead of sim. The truck driver simulator. I don't know. It's pretty fun. I got my steering wheel plugged in with the foot pedal, so it makes it feel a little bit more real. But guys, it is getting late, and I got to go to work tomorrow. I wish I could do this full time, but we're not there yet. If enough people hit the join button and become members, maybe one day I'll be able to do it full time. But right now, it's just a hobby. But thank you guys for watching. Thanks for popping in. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Share the channel with a friend. I will be back on tomorrow night. We're going to stay up to date with all the things happening in the news, and I'm probably going to play some video games as well. So if that sounds entertaining, definitely pop in tomorrow. If you haven't, turn on notifications. Hit the bell to get those notifications. Like the video. Share the video. If you want to become a channel member, you can click on the link or hit the join button. If not, though, it's all good. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chatting. And I will catch you guys tomorrow night. Until then, my name is Adam. And remember, keep calm, game on. Toodles.